Greetings and welcome to the 1/6 Scale Man proudly presents, you know what it is, comic book talk with friends. Monday nights, this is where we at. This is where you want to be. So I'm so happy everybody is here. We have a bit of an echo in the background. I don't know what's going on with that, but I think does somebody have it playing in the background? Well, I hope not. But anyway, thanks everybody for basically being here. You know what it is. Again, this is comic book talk with friends. Now, one of the friends couldn't actually be here tonight. He doesn't get off until late. He might show up later on, not really sure. But we do basically have a guest with us tonight on tonight's show with the usual suspects. And again, you know what the title of it was, Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness. It's been going crazy for a few days. Yes, indeed it has. But we're going to kind of deep dive into it. There's going to be some speculations. There's going to be some talk. There's going to be some history. You're in the right place. If you don't watch trailers, you don't want to be here. Mind you, Vinny is just like everybody out there. He doesn't like, or some of you out there, he doesn't watch trailers. So just to let you know beforehand, he's going to dip out before we get to that discussion. But anyway, let's bring everybody in. How's everybody doing tonight? How is everybody doing tonight, man? So glad to have everybody here. How you guys doing?
Perfect. How are you?
That's good. So glad to have you here. My guest tonight, Maya, thank you for coming through. What's going on with you? How are you tonight?
I'm doing good on overload. Everyone was excited over the football game. I've been dissecting Doctor Strange for 3 years.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody has. And that's just the way it's going to be from now until the movie's actually released for those who basically watched the trailer. Again, a lot of speculations, a lot of things that we saw, a lot of things that we didn't think we would actually see. It was like, oh, shit. A lot of oh, shit moments. But yeah, we got that. We also got the Moon Knight trailer, that we actually saw. So, again, and that's kind of just to kind of help satisfy our curiosity until the Doctor Strange film is released. We're expecting Moon Knight when? Is that supposed to come out in May as well? That's next month, right?
March 30th.
March 30th. March 30th. So March 30th, we'll basically get the Moon Knight exclusive Moon Knight release. So I cannot wait for that. So we will have a discussion about that. But anyway, my man Butt Naked, what's going on with you today, brother?
Man, it's just been like thinking about that trailer. And I got some new stuff coming in. I got another Transformers piece coming in next week. I finally, because I got mine from a local place instead of First Batch, so I finally
Is that the Prime?
Captain Marvel in. No, so I got the so I have the premium scale Bumblebee and Blitzwing, and I'm waiting for the premium scale Optimus to come out hopefully next month. But in the meantime, I have coming in next week the DLX, the smaller scale, Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime. And there are other ones that I like more than that, like the Bumblebee one. It's more classic, but I got that one because pretty soon the Jetfire one from Revenge of the Fallen is coming out, and you can actually combine the two pieces to create his like flight system from the movie. So that's why I went that route. So I'm pretty psyched for that. That's pretty much it. It's just been kind of comic books and comic book movie trailers and news. One cool thing that we can discuss briefly before we get into all the other stuff too is something that's pretty cool about the upcoming The Batman film. So we can tinker with that for a minute or two.
Yeah, definitely we can, man. Vinny, what's going on with you, brother? Again, we know that you've been bobbing and weaving TV all weekend. Since you know what, bro, literally, in a way it doesn't, but in a way it does suck to be you, bro, right now, because it's like, it's like they throw a plate of, it's like throwing a whole plate of hamburgers, no cheese. no feeling in front of you, bro. You can't touch it. That's just the way it is. It's an inside
I've
joke.
been
Me and Vinny know about them. But
I've been navigating the internet like Neo, just bullet
yeah,
time like a mug, man. Just dodging
yeah,
left and right. Yeah. I mean, what can I say? This is the non the non-trailer life is a hard road to follow, but it always pays off when I see that film, and I'm enjoying everything that everybody else has seen 6 months ago for the first time in the moment in
yeah,
context. And
yeah,
when I go back and watch the trailers, I never regret it because I had all
yeah,
those experiences in the flow of the film as opposed to in pieces to get
yeah,
confused by or speculate. So I
yeah,
never regret it, but yes, it's definitely tough to engage in conversations about comic book stuff without, having the full knowledge of the context of what's going on with the pre-hype. But also I know that the pre-hype is also a lot of times like misleading, or you can hype stuff up too much or too little. So
yeah,
I'm Doctor Strange doesn't need to do any work to get me in my ass in the seat
yeah.
on May. So I'm definitely looking forward to the film. I'm not looking forward to another 4 months of dodging information about it, but such is life. Such is life. I'll roll with the punches. There's been films that take longer to get here, so I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
tough. But I really wish that uh films didn't feel the need to give us so much information before they
Yeah.
roll out. But I also understand that there's so many things vying for our entertainment dollar that they do everything in their power to make sure that we all show up, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that people show up in mass like they did for No Way Home. I'm sure that they want everyone to believe that that'll be another event type of film, because I'm
Yeah.
sure Sony and Marvel loved the reactions they got from footage from people seeing people clap in the theaters when all those surprises happened. So I'm sure they still have surprises left, so that way we still get those moments. But it is what it is.
Yeah. It is, man. That's the hard life, bro. It's the simple fact that there are a lot of people out there who, try to stay spoiler free. If it's to avoid, here's the thing: it would be easier to do something like that if we didn't live in a digital world. If we didn't basically live in a world of social media, you know, YouTube. If we didn't live in this particular on this platform, then it would be kind of easier to kind of dodge that.
Right.
But right now, it's complicated. It's extremely complicated because it's always out there. If you have Facebook, information's there. If you have, IG, Instagram is there. TikTok is there. Twitter is there. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's a non-avoidable type of situation. So I mean, again, we'll do
It
our
would
best.
be easier if we lived in a world where they started all the trailers with "in a world where," and then because that was back in the day, and that was you could easily avoid it because you
Yeah,
only saw them in the movie theater before you saw a movie.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be crazy. It's definitely gonna be nuts. But again, Vinny, I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the simple fact that you've been able to dodge a lot of things like the Matrix. I wish y'all can see how he is when we're in a movie theater and the trailer drops. He turns it. This is what he does. He turns his head to the side and he puts his hand over his ears and he'll talk to somebody to kind of distract himself so he doesn't basically see anything. And I'm like, and he wears a hood. So I'm like, yo, that's hard. That's hard
Or you
work.
go get
But
snacks, you go take a piss before the movie starts, all the stuff that everybody else is rushing to do like before
There's a
the
whole bunch of
trailers.
stuff I do. I'll either I'll go to the bathroom before the movie starts and linger if I see that the trailer's still going, or if I'm in the theater and I'm set, I usually will just talk to my sister or one of my friends in the group that we went to go with, or I'll be on my phone and just zone out. I'm like a mom zoning out her kids screaming in the background. Like I'll know if something's wrong, but otherwise
yeah,
let them make noise and I just zone out. And it's a tried and true process because I almost never like remember anything that's in the trailer because I completely just zone it out.
I can see you avoiding the trailers, but how do you avoid like the products, the collecting side?
Okay, well, the products as far as like the figures and stuff like that, sometimes that stuff gets passed because it's really hard to avoid pictures. It's easy to avoid a trailer for anything because it's a video that you can roll up. But a picture of a still of someone or a picture of like a Lego set or whatever of stuff that's coming out is very tough to avoid. I have there's a really big movie that I think might have leaked stuff that is going to be a surprise. I will snooze like toy sites that are on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then I don't typically go to, I'm not in the Target and toy line, toy aisle every day. You know what I mean? So I'm not a super active collector where I'm always seeing new stuff all the time. So if there's a movie like this, I'll snooze the geek websites that are on my Facebook, so that I'll snooze them for like 30 days or 60 days or whatever. So that way I'm not seeing it. Like that's what I did with Spider-Man, because that was something that I really knew that they were rolling out heavy trailers for with a lot of information. So I snoozed those sites so that way I wasn't seeing stuff.
That's what we were talking about. I did that with No Way Home. Yeah. And that was the first in Marvel I had been able to avoid.
And like Leo and many of my other good friends, they're good to me. So a lot of interaction and stuff, news that I get, or is from friends. Like we have a group chat, and a lot of stuff with new stuff that I'm finding out will be either from them, or if there's something that is a spoiler, my friends will tag me and say, "Hey, don't watch this or this."
Yeah. I posted the trailer, like links to them. Yeah. I didn't watch it.
If my friends want to talk about something and it has spoilers in it, they'll like, "Hey, Vinny, like this is going to have spoilers in it, so don't watch that." So it's a process. It's a process. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy, man. But we try. We do our best. We do our best to look out. But real quick, before we actually deep dive in, man, I want to actually address the chat real quick, because these guys are always tried and true good to us over here. We have Mike Fiala in the building. Thank you for coming through. Max Geekdom. Luminar 843. Thank you for being here. Loco Lou, my guy, thank you for being here. Figure Flex Friday. Can't wait for that. SpongeBob Square Balls is in the building. Tobar. My lady Latoya T, thank you for basically being here. We have, let's see here, Zero is in the building. Thank you for being here, man. Bob Dylan with the 99-cent super chat. Thank you for basically being here. Peter Pacheco. We have, let's see here, Raleigh Reviews, my guy. Thank you for basically being here tonight, my brother. We have, let's see here, who else do we have? Two Ferns is in the building. Amber is in the building. Hey, Amber, thank you for actually coming through. Let's see here. The Ben Cave is here. Thank you for basically being here tonight. KG Chalamet, thank you for being here. Mark Seven's in the building. We got to get Mark Seven on the show, man. Start straight up. Anybody, like, if anybody has ever seen you said you saw Euphoria, right?
Yeah.
So what's the drug dealer dude, the with the beard, Fez?
That's Fez.
Doesn't he sound like Mark?
Fez 7 the issue.
Bro, he's Fez 7 issue. Yo, I swear to God, Mark is everywhere, bro. Mark is everywhere. There's a multiverse of Marks everywhere. Let's see here. Jerry is in the building. Efren Guzman is in the building. Let's see here. Butt Naked is floating out there in the hemisphere. We have Xander. Primetime reviews as always, man. Thank you guys for coming through. It's going to be an amazing night. I'm so glad you guys came here. Yes.
Do I sound cleaner now? I was echoing earlier.
You sound better. You sound better, and you actually look better. So I don't know what happened, but you did your thing. We got a $5 super chat by Blurred Dad Life. Let's go. Another great panel. You were right about Arkham Batgirl. She's fire. I told you. Anyway, so glad you got it. And you will enjoy it as much as I have. We have also Vibes. What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming through. So yes, we did get some crazy stuff that dropped on Saturday. On Sunday during the Super Bowl. And I think that's basically it's crazy because the Super Bowl tends to give us that. It's always something where, again, we see the magic, and that's pretty much why a lot of people watch it. That's why I watch it anyway, because my team didn't win. My team wasn't even there. But anyway, we did actually get the Moon Knight trailer and a better look at his costume. Like, man, look. Again, I know we have Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness coming soon, but this right here is something I've been waiting for a long time. That Moon Knight trailer was crazy. Did you see the Moon Knight trailer, Vinny?
No.
Of course, I know you didn't. But anyway,
I mean, it's like a 25-second.
yeah, it was like
full length
it wasn't
trailer.
it was
Anyway,
quick.
Super Bowl, just a halftime show, so I didn't see any of the trailers of the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
This one, it was
quick.
only like visuals. There was really no plot given in this. It was just
Yeah.
like some cool. It was basically just like a montage, some cool shots that give us a look at Moon Knight.
Yeah,
and
I
Oscar
seen this.
Isaac.
I seen a couple stills from the trailer. Like I said, those are unavoidable. I seen the Mr. Knight suit, so that's definitely a topic of interest there.
Yeah. It was like, again, you got a chance to see that. Also his cape folding out. I think the thing is about this is I'm just so intrigued because I mean, this is Oscar Isaac, bro, and you know that you're going to get a masterful performance from this dude, if anything, and it's going to be interesting to see how he tackles the different personalities, and it's crazy because Moon Knight the character has basically changed over the years. It's changed in writing so many times. And the biggest thing about the character itself is the simple fact that when Moon Knight started out originally, it wasn't split personalities. They weren't. It was just personas that he took over. You know what I mean? He had different personas that he actually did to hide his identity and who he was. It's just not until we basically got later on into like the late 70s, early 80s that they decided, when they reissued Moon Knight, they decided to make it, multiple personalities, a mental instability. So I'm not torn by that because I think it gives it more element. What you think about that, Vinny?
I love that they are. I mean, obviously, it's one of the things that is formatted for a television show better than a movie because they're going to have the room to stretch their legs, and we may even see like a different personality each episode.
Yeah.
And then have them overlapping. I mean, it could be like a show where there's a guest character and they or a side character that they focus on that episode. We would just be seeing different iterations of Moon Knight throughout the season, and then just having them kind of like the get together and team up episode would be just versions of him and shit. I love that. Like you said, he just did have just different personas, but not personalities that he integrated to just kind of like manage his life. And then later the writers decided to have that be confusing to them. I mean, even Khonshu, like, it's always ambiguous whether or not there's actually a god involved in the story. Or
Khonshu, like because it was always what we actually got a chance to see of Khonshu in the books were more so visions in his head, which we thought maybe it was just flashes of things, not really a personality build up or the god himself. It was just flashes. And then we started seeing Khonshu more fleshed out. As an actual
now
entity.
In the books, he's much more fleshed out and an actual character.
But the beauty of the storytelling of that is with any type of like mindfuck type of show or movie or medium, you can always just play that back to, if you even drop the seed of doubt that there's something crazy about this character, you that goes all the way back to where the first pin was put in the board of how much of this is really real, how much this is going on. And I love that, like even Mark Miller borrowed that a little bit for Ultimate Thor, where they made it where like it wasn't wasn't really clear if he really was a god or if he was just crazy and just had the tech, and Asgardians were just scientifically advanced. So they might do a lot of that type of stuff here, where there's different things that he does or doesn't do, a placebo god, if you will, where he's able to do things that he shouldn't be able to do because he believes Khonshu gave him these powers. So I'm very interested to see their take on it. Moon Knight has so many different iterations over the years, so many reboots, so many different writers, that there's going to be a lot of wiggle room, unlike some of the other characters we've seen in television and movies, where this is where the fans are usually pretty solid on this is what this character should be. I think with Moon Knight, they're going to have just at least a little bit of wiggle room where they can kind of fudge some stuff and people won't get too upset because there's been so many different versions of them, and you never know what's real anyway. So I'm very interested of the split personality aspect of the show. I can't wait to see where they go with it. From the stills we've seen like this, suits, it looks like at least visually he'll be incredible. I was still worried about them doing some Daredevil shit where he doesn't really have the white, classic suit until like at the end of the show or something dumb.
Yeah,
glad we've already seen him looking how he should look, because he's one of the most aesthetically iconic characters that I've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely. Maya, seeing this and knowing, basically growing up with the version of this, not really knowing that we would actually see this character, on screen, and to finally see it like that. I mean, there's a lot of hype surrounding this. I mean, hell, if Robert Meyer Burnett was on this show, he probably talked the entire show about that's how excited he is about it. But seeing this character, now that we're actually going to get it, I saw something here too that real quick that Local Lou said, and he was like he was worried. He said, "I'm worried it's going to be the show is going to be crazy like Legion." Legion.
I would love that. Legion was amazing.
Legion was amazing. Now here's the thing is, but I get it and I understand, because as amazing as Legion was for us that are comic book fans, we get it. And we completely understand it. And we understand why they visually chose that route. But for someone who's not a comic book fan, it's rough. Like, that was rough. It would have been a rough journey to kind of try to figure out. Because even certain points, me knowing everything that there is to know about, Legion, there were some things I kind of had to figure out. But Maya, with this, excited? The excitement? What do you think? Are you excited about it? Do you think it's going to live up to it with Oscar Isaac playing the role?
Yeah, and what's funny is growing up in the 80s, like Moon Knight was like a discount bin comic. You picked it up on the because when you were talking about different alliterations, but when it first started, this is CIA operative, kind of James Bond guy.
Yeah.
But they released it in a werewolf comic.
Yeah.
So it had this time period in the 70s, because I didn't read it in the 70s.
Werewolf by Night. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this time period where they were like trying to redo monsters. So we got Strange, Doctor Strange, we got werewolves, we got vampires, and there was this weird period in the 70s. So they just kind of tried to shoehorn him in, and then every few years they've changed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so like about every 6, 7, 8 years, someone gets a new version of Moon Knight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the people that are like trying to be traditionalists, this is that one character, unlike a Batman, where there is this kind of set pattern, and any deviation from this certain part of the lexicon, people would be insulted. So no, I'm excited because there's so much that they can throw in here. I think it's one of the first Marvels where Loki tried to do this like multiverse. This is going to be one of the first where the comic book was almost like, is it in his head? Is it real? Are we seeing, this Batman billionaire, Bruce Wayne? Are we seeing this, werewolf fighting vampire killer? So the excitement for me is this is the first of the Marvel shows that can be whatever it really wants to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is no, I hope they don't do the classic white suit. I mean, I love it. And I have comic books with that cover on it. But I kind of just want them to just throw paint on Jackson Pollock it and have fun, which we haven't gotten, in a few of these. So
yeah. I'm all in. I'm definitely all in. And you make a good point that, he's one of the few characters where no matter what you try to do, and how they basically try to scale it, you have to basically stay true to certain points of this particular character. You can try to change him, but when you basically read, and I'm guessing that's what they did, they had to go down and read history of this character. It's like they were probably sitting there like, there's no way we can do this. There's no way we can do this. There's no way we have to do it this way because that's how it was written, and this is the stuff that goes on in this guy's head.
It has a lot of Shazam in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers.
Yeah, it's got that, it's got these, origin is going to be the origin no matter what alliteration we get of him.
Yeah.
The origin has to kind of be there. Mm-hmm. But the fun is the comic book was always out there.
Mm-hmm.
In the early versions of Moon Knight, they are really kind of tripping in his head. There was almost a psychedelic what is it? Multiple personalities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had this weirdness that was fun.
Yeah. It was just like a weird back and forth dichotomy with the and there's no other person I can think of that other than, come on, James McAvoy was brilliant. He was brilliant. So if we get that type of performance plus more, which I know Oscar Isaac will pull it off, I just can't wait to see it. Now, let me ask you really quick, Brendan. Do you think that we're going to get the opening sequence? Well, we probably won't get that, but do you think it'd be a flashback to how all of this happened to him? Do you think it'd be that assassination attempt going wrong? You know what I mean? And when they were trying to, do you think that we'll actually get
I think
it where
it's going to be revealed over time.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do that right away. I think and I don't even know if it's necessarily going to be in the first episode.
I know it won't.
I think what they want to do is almost in a way make the audience feel uncomfortable, like to really sell the multiple personality, the schizophrenic, the kind of like all over the map kind of feeling that Oscar Isaac is going to have to portray as Mark Spector and his many iterations of his many personalities. So we're gonna, I think we're going to be kind of spinning in that atmosphere for a little while to start until they reveal what actually happened, how he was left for dead, the whole thing. Now, we might have flashbacks that kind of like show the relationship with them as mercenaries before he's betrayed.
Yeah.
Or they might skip that and maybe kind of go back and revisit it later after the reveal of like, okay, this is how he, became who he is, and then flesh it out after. It's one of those things where they can do any different number of avenues. They can take any number of avenues to get to that end goal, because it's that kind of like wild multiple personality nature of it, where it's going to be winding. This is not going to be point A to point B straight line kind of show.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're absolutely.
And people need to not be discouraged by that. Just go for the ride, and you'll be okay. The other thing that I really like about this is the first Disney Plus show, Marvel or Star Wars, to get a TV-14 rating. It's not an MA like Netflix, Daredevil, and all that. Which I'm sure most people that are watching this show already know, but if not, those shows are coming off of Netflix at the end of this month. Starting March 1st, they will no longer be on Netflix. They haven't announced where those are going to go. My guess is it's going to be Hulu. And that anything that might approach TVMA would go to Hulu. I think that's like 99% chance what's going to happen. But if it doesn't, if they do, and again, I don't think this is likely, but if they do go on to Disney Plus, then that could signal a pretty big opening for content in the future in terms of what they're willing to do. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's right now we don't know, so anything is possible. But the fact that this is getting a TV-14 instead of PG, like all the other shows, does make me hopeful that this one is going to be a little bit grittier, a little bit darker. I don't think we're going to get a ton of blood and gore, but I think we should get some kind of hard-hitting, impactful action sequences, violence. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, everything about this, I'll tell you right now, I'm getting 2 of the Hot Toys. Like, no question, I'm getting 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for one, because I have ideas about what I want to do. I want to have multiple of them, but I also, he's got multiple personalities. I'll have multiple Moon Knights. But also, I want to show support for this character and to show Hot Toys that, hey, make these other characters. I love me Iron Man and Spider-Man and Cap and Thor and stuff, but give me these other guys too, because they can sell just as well. or maybe not just as well, but they can sell well enough that you should be giving them
No,
some love.
you're absolutely right. I mean, the problem is, like, even with the Loki, I think we've got the Loki variant, and the one character.
Sylvie.
And with Sam, we only got one. With Winter Soldier, we're only getting one.
We haven't got Hawkeye and the Winter Soldier. I mean, Hawkeye yet. We haven't gotten Hawkeye.
We'll get Hawkeye eventually.
We haven't got Kate Bishop or
Yeah,
not yet.
Yeah, there's no love for a couple of the characters, so I'm with you. I hope they do. But back to what you were talking about, the rating for adults or the 14. Yeah, if this was actually before Frank Miller's Dark Knight, where I saw the first, there was a like an Arabian Night. I have the comic book, but it's like an Arabian Nights tale, and there was a decapitation.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I saw that happening a few years before Frank Miller drops the first Dark Knight. So it had like stabbings and beheadings, and it was a violent book even in the 80s. I mean,
yeah, I think this is going to be, I mean, I think that rating gives us an indication, but I always thought this was going to be a more hard-hitting, kind of show than a lot of the other ones. So I'm super psyched about that. Like you said, 2 Hot Toys. I will be doing it. Also excited because I do think, and Lael, I shared this with you, from what I've gathered, what has been hinted at, I think the Kucharik brothers will be designing a Moon Knight statue. They kind of hinted at that the other day, and when I pressed Brian on it, he was a little cagey, but in a kind of wink wink nod nod way. So I'm pretty sure that they will do that. Whether it's a larger scale or it's part of their 6th scale line for Kotobukiya that they're handling all the art direction on, the same line that they just revealed Cable for. I don't know if it's going to be for that one or a larger one, but I'll tell you, if whatever they do, I'll get it because I know it'll be great. But if Prime One or Queen Studios, if somebody does a Moon Knight in like a 1/4 scale, 1/3 scale, I will be all over that.
I think pretty much all of us will. What you going to say, Vinny?
I definitely, that will definitely be one that I don't think I'd be able to resist diving in for it, despite not really dipping my toe in the pool yet, other than Luke, for sure. It's midnight, and I've said this many times. That'd be one to get me off the bench for sure. I definitely see it being more violent, just not as much blood as we would expect from Netflix and stuff like that. And I love that last year, WandaVision kind of trained the audience to sit tight with outside the box kind of wacky type of cerebral type of show. So hopefully if that is the route that they go, everyone will be patient and just like enjoy the ride, because I definitely see them adding that element to it instead of just being a beat 'em up, because Moon Knight's not just a beat 'em up. That's what makes him so interesting.
Yeah, definitely not. But I definitely, it's one of those things that I cannot wait to see. Definitely excited to be here in a month time. So yes, I'm extremely excited about it. I know everybody out there in the chat, let us know what you actually think. If you're just excited as we are, because I know you are, come on, we're just getting more Marvel content. It's a great day to be alive when it comes to that. So I'm super excited. But yeah, definitely let us know what you think about it. It's going to be coming, March 30th?
March 30th,
so.
Yeah,
March 30th.
They haven't said if they're dropping, if it's just the first episode, if it's going to be the first 2. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes it's just one. And we haven't really gotten word as far as the length of the episodes, to my knowledge. But
is it 6 or 8?
6.
I think it's 6, but but we haven't really gotten word. I'm assuming that they're going to be in that kind of average, like 45 minute episodes, with maybe like an hour long finale or something. But yeah, I'm ready.
Hell yeah. So yes, we have now, my man Vinny, reached that part of the show.
Before Vinny bounces, I just want to. This is just something that I saw earlier today that I just. It's. I think my hype levels for the Batman continue to increase as we get closer and closer to that movie, which we'll actually have just before Moon Knight. So I saw today that the Batman officially received the AMC Artisan Film Seal, which is not like all that widely known to a lot of people, but it's like AMC gives these this seal for films that advance the art of storytelling and filmmaking, and that they ones that do something very special cinematically, as far as cinematography goes, score, sound design, and overall storytelling, to do something in genres that you don't see very often or at all. And so there's only one other comic book based film that has ever gotten the AMC Artisan Seal. It wasn't technically a superhero movie. It was the 2019 Joker film with Joaquin Phoenix, which I really enjoyed. I go back and forth. I really love that film. I don't know if I really see it as a Joker film, but that's a whole other kind of discussion. But that does have me even more encouraged for seeing this movie and seeing this kind of Zodiac inspired serial killer take that Paul Dano has for the Riddler. So I think that's pretty cool. And me personally, I don't know about everybody else, but like I just continue to get more and more excited for that movie. So I just thought that was cool. That just kind of gave me a little bit more encouragement looking forward to that.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I've been one of the few who's somewhat a little bit negative on the story, but visually and from context, from tone, it looks like it's going to be an amazing film. It just might not be my cup of tea as far as how Batman's presented, but I feel like that is something that is yet to be seen. So I'm hoping to be wrong, and from what I've seen from stills and what little bit of that I've seen of it, it looks like it's going to be at least beautiful. So yeah, I can't wait. It's right around the corner.
I'll take anything Batman. Just throw it in there. I'll do. It's just like a buffet. But
it's like pizza, right? Even bad Batman is still Batman. You know, I mean,
exactly.
I'll take as many iterations as I can get. And
I'm not a fan of the super high pointed look and some of the other things. So but the story looks a little. I like the realization to it. I kind of like real world setting it, and we'll see what they do.
Vinny, like you said though, with I think that the weird thing is, like you said, more Batman is more Batman. So that's good in and of itself, even if it's not necessarily what you're particularly looking for. And that I've been feeling really weird today because as much as I was let down by the series, tomorrow is Wednesday, and there's no new Book of Boba is over. There's no new episode on Disney Plus for me to watch tomorrow. I don't know. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck?
Wait, you have to be careful because when Moon Knight comes out, it might just be another bait and switch, and it's really Mando season 4. Because they might just keep adding in Mando to every Disney Plus show.
And I'm okay with that.
I think Grogu goes to the dark side, and Grogu is the villain in Moon Knight.
There you go. Just put Grogu, just sprinkle Grogu like the Salt Bae, just on everything. Just
please
sell them tickets.
Please don't.
But yeah, dude, I'm really like tomorrow is like what I would usually do on Wednesdays is I'd get up in the morning, I go drop my wife and kids off at school, I come home, and then I watch a Book of Boba before I start my day. And tomorrow I just have to start my work day. I'm like, well, fuck that. Like,
yeah.
A lot of people.
Here's something though. I'm going back and doing every Wednesday a new replaying my Loki, and than running right
Yeah, I
into.
like rewatching them, but there's something that's special about not knowing what you're about to get and watching that one fresh each
Yeah,
week.
but Loki confused the out of me.
Yeah.
Then again, a lot of people are actually going to get to sleep tonight because a lot of us weren't sleeping during that show. We were.
I never stayed up to watch them at night because
Yeah.
you know East Coast is like I'm not staying up till 3 a.m. to then watch the show. And
Yeah, for us it's 12:05.
Yeah. I do it because I know I'm going to miss certain things, and I'm just like, let me just get it out the way. Just while I'm up, let me just knock it out, and then I'll just go right back to sleep. So I usually set my alarm around that time. So it is what it is. Yeah, bro, Vinny, it's been good, bro. I don't wanna put you in that situation where you gotta hear anything. So anyway, we'll see you back here next week, next Monday. We'll basically get back to our regularly scheduled program, talking comics, talking everything in that sequence. So everybody, shout out to Vinny if you haven't already. Vinny, what you got coming up next before we let you go, bro?
I am finishing up a Cad Bane piece. So I'm looking forward to wrapping that up, and then that might be like I might be putting the plug in Star Wars stuff for a minute, and I got some other projects that I'm looking forward to switch to, and just been otherwise just catching up on reading. I'm catching up on my Avengers backlog now for like many years, so I'm looking forward to getting caught up with them and diving in. And other than that, just enjoying what little bit of break it got left and using it to like draw and read and R&R.
Definitely.
So, but yeah, well, I'll see you guys on the next
next Monday
show and next comic.
Yeah, you'll see us. Yeah, you'll see us on Thursday, right?
Yeah, is it going to be back to every other week? Does that mean this week?
Nah, we're actually going. Mario said let's just keep going, so we just gonna actually dive in and do
Lael
it.
felt like he wasn't streaming enough. He felt like he was slacking, so he wanted to go every week instead of every other week.
I wish. If he would have said, look, if he'd have said let's go every other week, I'd have been fine with that. So, but it is what it is.
Brandon, he's got to step that work ethic up. Toya could attest; he almost rarely ever streams. Just maybe like
I know. Toya was actually texting me yesterday and was like, I can't believe he's so lazy. He's not going to stream tonight. Like, come on.
Yeah, right.
No.
Anyway.
All right, y'all be
real,
bro.
Take it easy,
All
right. Check you out, man.
Night,
check you out later on, brother. All right. So the moment that everybody's basically been waiting for is finally here. I mean, come on, man. What can we say? It's something that we basically been waiting on. We've been waiting to talk about. And it took us by surprise on Sunday. It was crazy because it was the first damn trailer that they actually showed, the first commercial, and I didn't expect it. Like, so just imagine if you were somebody who walked completely away from your television, if you were just not around and you didn't basically see it. Like, it's a lot to basically digest at that point, and it's like, I'm so glad that I sat in front of my TV and didn't move. And just simply saw it. And I don't know how, Brennan, you didn't actually see it. I had to remind you.
So I had other stuff going on, family and stuff, and so I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. All right. And I usually do. I'm a Pats fan, and so we're usually in the Super Bowl, so I'm usually watching it. But we weren't in the Super Bowl this time around. I still usually watch it. I had a lot of other stuff going, and I didn't really expect Cincinnati to hold up. So I was just kind of like, you know what, all the commercials, all the trailers and stuff that I might want to watch, those will be online, and I record it so I can go back and I can watch the halftime show. Obviously, grew up in the 80s and 90s, so that's, I was interested in that. But yeah, so I hadn't seen it, and it had just gone up, and you were texting me, and I was like, wait, it already dropped? And you were like, yeah. So I jumped on and immediately went on YouTube and I watched it. Man, about a minute 18 in, I lost my shit. I called Lael, and I'm fucking screaming. I'm like, that voice. Lael did not even realize.
I didn't.
That it was Patrick Stewart. He did not even realize that Professor X was in that trailer, and he was like, "Wait, are you serious?" I'm like,
"Yeah,
fucking yes, I'm serious."
Yeah.
I
had zero idea because the thing is, I was already caught up in everything else.
I was going nuts.
I was caught up with everything else that was going on in the trailer, still trying to dissect a couple of different things that I actually seen even earlier on. I mean, we got a better look at Protector Strange. Just out from the very beginning when he started talking about the dreams, I was like, oh shit, he's connected to every version of himself. Like, he's really connected to every version, and they might approach this in a way that every time a version, we might even actually see a decimation of each version of Strange.
I think that's what he was waking up from. I think in his dreams he was seeing Defender Strange and other versions of himself being killed.
Yeah. It was something that I did not expect. But again, wow, like, it completely blew my mind. I mean, and I didn't put it this way. I didn't think that they were going to put the trailer together like this. But then again, I know I'm a fan. You're not, Vinny, but I am. I am a fan of Sam Raimi. I love him to death.
No, Vinny. I think Vinny likes Sam Raimi. Brendan does not like Sam.
No, that's what I'm saying. I said I know you don't, Brendan. I'm sorry. Okay. I do. I love Sam Raimi. I love his material. I've loved him since Evil Dead. Literally, I love every.
The guy. I'm not a big fan of Sam Raimi, but I trust Kevin Feige, and everything that I've seen of this film, I'm on board with. So this isn't. I'm not going into this with a negative outlook because it's Sam Raimi. I'm 100% on board with this film, and I think Sam Raimi is, me personally, I think Sam Raimi is a better fit for a character like Doctor Strange than he is for Spider-Man.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah. I would agree. I'll agree with you. Yeah, 100% on that. I love him. A Simple Plan, Dark Man, Evil Dead's. A Simple Plan is such. Oh, I go back to that like once a year and just watch the performances, but I think he has that nuances of dealing and layering a story that this is going to need, because the problem is with, especially where they're heading, you can start to lose people. And I think that Sam will be able to keep you in and kind of let you go along for the ride, which he did brilliantly in the Spider-Man. But I think when he was dealing with Sony at that point, they were so protective of their product.
Yeah.
They kind of don't get to be an auteur. You don't get to play in that world. Where with this, I mean, he gets to kind of just go, crazy and do whatever the fuck he wants.
And you're right. It's like, I can imagine him getting that call, or him actually saying, well, wait, so I get to do this? Oh, I can do this? Oh, I can do that? Oh, I get these characters too? Oh, hell yeah. I'm ready. I can imagine. And the thing is, and this is me personally. Now, before I deep dive in this, I'm going to bring another individual in here, because he was like, yo, please bring me in on this talk. So I was like, all right, I'll bring him in. And that's the one and only Mr. KG himself, KG Chalamet. Thank you for joining us tonight, bro. Everybody say shout out to KG Chalamet. I'm his agent. So glad you actually jumped on board tonight, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I wanted to come and talk about this because this thing was something else, man. I mean, this is one of my most anticipated Marvel project right now of 2022.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah. But it was crazy because I'm watching this and it harkens, like, I was a fan, like you said, his style in Darkman, basically his style of the pacing from scene to scene, but making sure that each scene was filled out and that you understood where they were going. I was a true and blue fan. The reason why I was a fan, and I am a fan of Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, is because to me, in my head, And the way it was filmed, the way each scene was bounced back in between, it was shot, even from the angles, how fast he would go from this character to that character. It was like I was looking at the pages of a comic book. Like literally, I say this all the time. Like that's why. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 2, come on, man, to me is one of my favorite films of all time.
You're talking about not Amazing Spider-Man.
I mean, Spider-Man. So basically, it's one of my favorite films of all time. Like literally, because number one, we got Spider-Man after so long. Like we didn't know that we were going to actually get that film and see it fleshed out, you know, cinematically the way it was. It was good for its time, and like I said, I love it. But it was his choice in how he actually shot the film that was amazing, and I loved it. So I definitely, for me, him and being like the choice for this particular film is a win-win, because it's like, especially if you're looking for that like horror aspect of a film and you're trying to give us that. And I'm pretty sure, like, number one, before I move forward, I want to say something really quick, and I'm looking at the camera when I do this. We were right. Me and Brendan had this conversation on Justin's show, and we told them, and they didn't listen. We said that they would introduce characters from What If in the cinematic universe. Oh, no. They have no relevance.
If you still don't believe us,
they have
look right fucking next to KG's head. What do you see in that picture? Captain motherfucking Carter's shield.
Right there. Right there. So this is what I'm saying. Didn't believe us, but I told you it was going to happen, and it happened. So yes, and mind you, these characters are not the first, and I knew it, and they did it so well. So again, as Kevin Feige explained, he said that What If has a lot of relevance to what is going to happen cinematically going forward in the MCU. And this right here, right now, this film proves that. I am super duper excited.
And the cool thing too is, so we don't know exactly how he's gonna pull it off. But the shield there looks like real world, like normal. But in the trailer, there's a point where Strange is like tumbling through like the glass and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you see underneath, it's an animated world.
Yep.
Right? So it's going to be interesting to see how that, like, could it be a thing similar to Into the Spider-Verse? Or, Across the Spider-Verse, where in the upcoming Across the Spider-Verse, they've already said that when they go from one universe to the next, the art style changes. Mm-hmm. So is it possible that, like, it looks animated through that, but then when one of them crosses over, now we see Haley Atwell, now we see the full Peggy Carter, you know, there's any number of things. But like you know, we talked about this trailer, we see Ultron bots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay? We see Ultron bots. Now, is this a universe where Ultron worked, where he didn't go haywire, and you know, Tony got the shield around the Earth like he wanted? You know, that's entirely possible. But if you think that they're doing all of this, that we're seeing Captain Carter's, if you think that we're not gonna get at some point that Infinity Ultron, you're crazy. Because Ultron is one of the, in the pantheon of Avengers villains, Ultron, if he's not top, he's in the top 2 or 3, guaranteed. Mm-hmm. And if you think that they're just going to leave it with Age of Ultron and that we're not going to see him come back in some shape or form, especially the fact that they just did that in What If, and I mean, he just bitch slapped Thanos and the Watcher and just left and right. You know, if you think that he's not going to be coming back into play in the end, I'm not saying it's going to be James Spader. You know, we'll see what kind of that might look like. But there is so much. We just saw in this trailer, we see Zombie Strange and Zombie Wanda, right? Yep. I guarantee you we're going to see Vision back in this when she references him. Like, we're going to see that. But there's so much from that show that people who just like Lael and I, you know, we grew up reading the What If comics, and when they started making this What If show, we were excited. We're like, this is going to be big. Everybody was kind of like, no, it's going to be a throwaway, whatever. And then Kevin Feige says the What If shows, those are canon. Those are right neck and neck with the films, with all the other TV shows. Those are canon. And everybody's like, well, all right, but like that's not okay. Yeah, it's canon, but we're never actually going to see anything done with that. Oh no. Then they got 2 more seasons, and now we're seeing them cross into live action. Like Lael said, that we have both been saying forever, and people were saying, oh no, you're crazy. What have we learned here? Never doubt us.
Don't doubt. We got a $1.99 super chat by SpongeBob SquarePants. Feige said that What If was MCU's canon. Exactly.
There you go.
And before I move on to you, Maya, Maya, I'm gonna bring in like I've been getting so many requests, and it wouldn't be a show without a local cat himself, and that's my man Loco Lou. He wanted to actually come through and shout this out, man. Loco Lou, thank you for coming through, as always, man. Maya, real quick, Loco, but Maya, I mean, here, this is crazy, Maya. Like, I'm sort of like. I'm playing this. I'm in your head right now. So I'm imagining I'm in your head watching the Super Bowl and this being the first trailer released. I'm imagining you sitting next to your partner like, do you
I went worse than that.
Are you like,
I had to watch some
are you seeing it?
Yeah, so I had to watch some hillbilly shit for like 45 minutes before they kicked off to get this trailer. So I planted my ass on the couch and I was like, I will watch this shit kicking stupid shit until I get a trailer. And I think they gave us a little blip of like the Jurassic Park one. So I was getting like, ooh, and I'm shoveling Cheez-Its in my mouth and shit. And it drops. And my wife comes around the back of the couch and she didn't watch the trailer. She was watching me watch the trailer. And at some point, I'm standing in front of the TV. So I don't know when I got up, but to me, it was like my Super Bowl. I was like, just because I know everyone's talking about the voice, hearing the voice, but there's a shot of the wheelchair. There's a shot of the wheelchair in a house. You see it really quick, and it's on carpet, and it's almost like Days of Future Past when they're in the lobby.
Yeah, but a wheelchair could be anything. When you hear the voice, there is no doubt at all. Yeah. That is motherfucking Sir Patrick Stewart. Like, it was just like, that was just the confirmation. Like, literal chills up my fucking spine.
I got him right now.
Yeah.
It was...
I had, and the thing is, though, so, okay, so it's this is going to be the hardest thing to avoid and not talk about. Like literally, like you can't basically get around it because this is where everybody's head actually goes to. Anybody who actually seen this trailer and seen it shot by shot, scene by scene, their head's going to go. I mean, now mind you, I was so interested in America Chavez. Again, that I was hyped, and to see them, even in that one scene, you seen the use of her power in the background. Even when she was strung up, you see the star in the background. Did you see that, Loco?
Yeah,
but that was crazy. That. But this scene right here.
Oh, come on.
Illuminati.
That's the one.
Illuminati.
That's Illuminati right there.
Here. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. Off to where we're looking at, okay, so off to his left in that chair can only be one of 2 individuals.
It's Black Panther.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Fantastic.
We don't know yet. It can be Mr. Fantastic. It could be, we don't know. It could be, because even when people, because I saw like a lot of people scale it up, and it did look like a number 4. It did. It did. But then again, I'm like, I don't know, because the thing is, I don't want to give it that, because I'm like, we definitely don't know yet.
Are we getting a black bull?
Would you say that was my question? Are we going to get a black bull?
I mean,
Because if we're going the route of the Illuminati, you have to give us something.
Well, so the characters in the Illuminati are Strange, Xavier, Black Bolt, Iron Man, T'Challa, and Reed.
Namor.
Yeah.
And Namor, yeah.
So now we've already Reed and Namor we've already been expecting for a while to be introduced into the MCU. T'Challa is already there. They could show this could be a different universe's version of the Black Panther, so it might not be a T'Challa, or it could be a T'Challa who looks different. I know they said they weren't going to recast, but they're not going to give away all the secrets for a movie like this, so it's entirely possible that he's on there. I know a lot of people are talking about Superior Iron Man and Tom Cruise. I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but the shots that, and we'll see them later on, the shots in this trailer that people are saying is Superior Iron Man, it is not Superior Iron Man. That is either Monica or Marie Rambeau.
Yeah,
okay?
that's right. Yeah.
As an alternate universe.
Yeah, we'll get to that shot.
Captain Marvel, or depending on how Monica has leveled up, it could be her kind of coming into her powers at that point. But she's going up against Wanda, and Monica and Wanda have history now because of the WandaVision show.
Yeah,
that was not Tom Cruise. That is a female body that doesn't look like an Iron Man armor. It's like people saying, "Oh, it's confirmed that Tom Cruise is in this as superior." Shut up. Maybe he's in the movie. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying that shot ain't him.
He could fall through a scene.
I agree with you.
Where he's just standing there.
It can either be it could be Photon. It could be again we don't. But I agree that's not Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That is definitely not Tom Cruise. And I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring it. He could, and I definitely think he could be in there. But I'll bring it up once we get to it.
And he might be the version, or it might be RDJ coming back for a cameo as a different universe Iron Man.
Maybe,
because that's been talked about a lot too. In any event, I think that they bring him in because I think the Strange, and it might be Defender Strange, but I think the Strange that is on this Illuminati gets killed, and I think they bring him in, and I think that this. I don't think this is necessarily going to be a single universe's Illuminati. I think what they might do is make this a multiversal Illuminati where the characters are from different universes.
I caught his hands like Eric there just posted. You got bumped up there from Eric Gant. But I noticed his hands, the scarring.
It's not there.
It's missing. Yeah.
Here's my theory in that. I think that this is Supreme Strange.
Which one?
This might be Supreme Strange.
From What If?
What If, but not the same sort of origin story of the Supreme Strange, but a different iteration of it. Maybe that's the case where he's having these
Strange
visions.
is the one that we see in the trailer who says things are about to get really odd or whatever. So that's not this guy.
So you're thinking he's not our Doctor Strange, he's Superior Strange.
So what I think is that he's having these visions that Guardian Strange is sending him, right? And he's like, I got to protect my world, he has to do all these stuff. And that's what we see Wong. We see Wong saying, you can't control everything, Strange. But he does it anyway.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And the other thing to consider, too, is now, remember, Mordo says that your desecration of the multiverse will not go, unpunished, right? But here's the thing. In the voiceover in the trailer, Strange says, I did what I felt I had to do to save the universe.
Yeah.
Now, here's the the confusing part about that, and where I think that this could be a misdirect, because everyone is just assuming that, okay, it's because of what happened in No Way Home. Two things to consider. One is that he didn't do what he did to save the multiverse or his universe in the first place. He did it to help Peter out, and then he had to send them back to close those portals and fix that. But that wasn't what kind of broke the barriers. That was fixing it. But he wouldn't have memory of what happened in No Way Home. He doesn't know why he was doing anything or if he was even doing it, because the whole point is that nobody remembers who Peter Parker is. Nobody he most likely does not remember the events of No Way Home. And if that's the case, then he can't be referencing what he did in No Way Home, which means I think there's something else that comes into play. I think it's after he goes to Wanda. I think whatever he's saying, like the desecration of the multiverse, and he's saying he did what he felt he had to, I think that is after he sees Wanda. Something happens then that kicks everything off, and that's what they're referencing.
Or what I think, and real quick, Loco, I'm gonna let you go in a second here because I want to address these super chats because we got a lot of them streaming in. But again, Wanda has demonstrated the ability to rebalance and bring back memories. We've known that she can do these things. So maybe she causes him to remember everything that basically happened around that time, because actually at this point she's the only one that really does. Like, she remembers everything. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and she has a vendetta, and that's why I liked her line. You save the universe, it's good. I do it, and you know what I mean, whatever. Yeah. So I love that line. But real quick,
I think he uses the Darkhold. He gets the Darkhold from her and uses that, and that's what she's like, well, you do it, and you know, and it's a mistake, but you're a hero, and I do it, and I'm the villain.
Which means, and I'm gonna bring that now, mind you, I'm gonna come back to Wanda in a certain scene. I'm gonna bring it up later because I think we're gonna see a switch. And I'm telling you, boy, I can't wait till that switch happens. But before we do, yo, I'm telling you, Loco, you probably know where I'm going with this. But anyway, Eric Gant sends us a $4.99 super chat. Raimi has skills. His Spider-Man films are amazing. If somebody told you I was a normal guy, not a care in the world, somebody lied. Like, literally, like literally, I think he was brilliant. I loved what he did with the action. I love Sam Raimi. I just love his. He takes you on a ride, and I enjoy it. We got DJ N with a super chat and $1.99. What's up, yo? The trailer has me. Yeah, me too. We have a $9.99 super chat. The Strange who awakens at the beginning of the trailer has normal hands. MCU Strange has scarred hands. I think this film is going to have twists and turns we can't even imagine yet. I super duper agree with that.
Can I just say I love that scene in the trailer where we see Guardian Strange turning around and it switches to him waking up. I love that transition. Just beautiful.
And the thing is, it's crazy though, because what's the crazy part about that is the only person that can really bounce between universes like that and who's called on is America Chavez. Shout out Boricua all day. Anyway, all day. You already know that all day, baby. We all day. We have Ashley Chase, $14.99. Could you explain to a bit about the Illuminati? We are getting to that. We are getting to that in just a second. So Ashley, sit back and enjoy the ride. I hope you got your popcorn because you're about to get a case study. We got SpongeBob Square Balls in the building. $4.99 super chat. Maria Rambeau died of cancer. Captain Marvel died of cancer. I wonder if there is some connection. Hey, you never know, and there could be a particular reason why all of this has happened. We got another $1.99 super chat. Mordo better not mess with Wanda. Hashtag chin off, can of whoop ass. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Wanda. Listen, Wanda's entry in this film is for a particular reason, and not for a particular reason, but they know exactly what they're doing. But it's a bigger play in hands. And somebody brought this up that basically she might discover more about herself, more about what's going on, more about the simple fact that there is even a possibility, and you can't take this off the table. There might be a possibility that there's a universe where there were really no mutants, and the existence of mutants were wiped completely away. You know, there's no hint at that particular point. Loco, real quick, I want to dive into this because I have this scene up here for a particular reason. I mean, Ashley Chase asked about the Illuminati. The Illuminati they're like the balance between the multiverse. They are there to basically make sure that there's certain things that does not happen. And on top of that, even if we've seen with the Illuminati, even if it means betraying their own, like they've done, like they did, they'll do anything to protect it. Exactly, Cap, right? Yep. So, Loco, looking at this scene right here, bro. Yeah, looking at this scene right here, your interpretation of what you're looking at and what you see.
I'm looking at the damnation of this specific Doctor Strange amongst people on the council. Now, what people are failing to realize is that Mordo is a part of this council.
Mm-hmm.
He's a part of this Illuminati. This is his version of the Illuminati, our MCU version of the Illuminati, if you will. So we see clearly a wheelchair in front of us with someone sitting in it, right? And then you see the suspecting individual being Reed or Black Panther. And you see Mordo, but we don't see anyone else. And there's speculations and talks about Hugh Jackman returning. And imagine him being on the council. He is one of the only individuals that's lived a very, very long life that lived to tell the tale.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think he will have a seat in the council as well?
Interesting. And it's interesting that you brought up the simple fact that Mordo, he could have arranged all of this, bro, with the council, like literally, because he's knowing everything that basically happened. Here's the thing, because this is a bag of bullshit. I'm telling you, like, this is getting on my nerve, bro, because trying to figure this out by one damn trailer is a fucking headache. Because the thing is, bro, you got to think, we got the warnings from Mordo. We got that warning where basically, like he said, the debt comes due. Like, you know, everybody has to repay the debt. And it's sort of like he knew that the unbalance would happen and nobody would listen to him. So in the fact that who we thought at that particular time was a villain, to himself, he's not a villain. He's not a villain. Like he wasn't really lying. Would y'all disagree that what he said at that point wasn't really a lie? We are seeing the multiverse fractured and fucked up.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Mordo's never considered himself to be a villain, even in the comics.
Never, not even in the comics at all.
No, but you guys, we're under the assumption too, and this is Sam Raimi at his best, that this is our Doctor Strange, our MCU Doctor Strange. We are dealing with the possibility that some of this is going to be in Wanda's imagination. Some of this is going to be some of the stuff that Wanda's discovered. I think we're going to see that some of the worlds that he's going to go into. The wedding was really important to me. Seeing that she was with there's a different groom.
Yeah.
Christine's wedding. So it's weird. You don't know which. Right now, we're trying to dissect it, but I don't know which alliteration we're going to get of Strange in this. But something has to do with the fact that he's being punished for something he did. And I think that's how they brought in. I think he was picked up. He goes to Christine, or he goes to Wanda to. He's supposed to get back what got destroyed at the end of No Way Home. It got destroyed.
Something about, because they showed us that trailer at the end of No Way Home for a reason. Because everything ties in, just like I believe everything basically ties in from even the last episode that we got of WandaVision. You know, when we see her with the Darkhold and she's, there, she hears voices. She's tinkering around with different things, trying to find a way to bring her children back. You know what I mean? So everything that she's learning about this book are ways that she can manipulate the multiverse,
reality,
and really, to definitely manipulate reality. So a lot of that is of course going to affect everything that we actually see in No Way Home, and also going to, and what Strange does also intensifies, because remember, those portals that were opened up, like, come on, man. Like Wong said, shit got through. Shit definitely came through. Like that. And I was saying it. Yeah, exactly, bro. Things actually got through that portal that we could not, he couldn't even imagine. You know what I mean?
I think if he sees Christine get married, and I think, he missed 5 years of this, maybe he tried to do what Wanda did and create a reality that he could wake up in, and he could have, like, What If, and
Yo.
That's cool.
Butt naked.
Oh my goodness.
Butt naked.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Man, there's so much in this to consider. You know, like you just mentioned, Shumagora / Gargantos, whatever people are calling him in this iteration. You can remember though, he's actually an enemy of Namor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason why I think this would be a good spot to introduce, at least a version, an iteration of Namor, especially since it was heavily rumored that before Chadwick passed, that it was going to be Namor as the villain, and it was going to be Atlantis versus Wakanda in Black Panther 2. So I don't think they're going to go forward with introducing them in that way. So this movie provides them a good opportunity to do that. And we know that there were a lot of reshoots on this, because this originally was actually scheduled to come out before No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of reworked it. So yeah, there's a lot to digest when it comes to this film. Like, again, this is not Tom Cruise. This is not Superior Iron Man. All the different things that we've seen, not just, in the trailers, in this poster. I mean, we see Deadpool in this poster. And again, this is the perfect movie to have Deadpool make his first MCU appearance too. I do think that it's entirely possible that we see Tom Holland in this movie. I'm not saying a huge role, but I do think the potential is there. We'll see how all of that unfolds.
Yeah.
But there's just so much to dissect in this, and I think that at some point, I really hope that they don't waste Mordo, that they don't waste the acting prowess of Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah.
I think he needs to have a really big role in this, and I would love it. I kind of think that it would make a lot of sense if when Strange goes to Wanda, and then he's eventually going to get hold of the Darkhold, and he's going to do something. I think that Mordo is going to try and take advantage of that situation in some way. And I wouldn't be surprised if the villainous side that we see of Wanda, or of a version of Wanda at some point in this film, is prodded along, is kind of, the strings are being pulled by Mordo. And that's the thing, is like
someone else.
Or someone, and we all know there's Mephisto, and people were saying that those kind of like devil-like skulls that were on the door. There are possibilities there. I want this though. And as much as I would love certain other characters and other kind of paths, to be explored, I remember while the movie was crap, and everybody, including the people that were involved with the movie, agree that the Green Lantern movie was crap, Mark Strong was a really good casting choice for Sinestro.
Yeah.
We never really see the villainous Sinestro because the movie was crap and there was no sequel. And I don't want that to be the case with Mordo. We have a great actor in the role, and I want this movie. I don't want to wait for like a Doctor Strange 3 if one gets made 5 years from now. I want this movie to really do Mordo justice. That's my big want for this. I know we're going to get a bunch of crazy stuff. We know Patrick Stewart's in there. Well, I don't think we're going to get any significant long-term stuff from somebody like Hugh Jackman. It's entirely possible that we could get a really cool cameo, maybe with him and Deadpool together in this film. That would be kind of cool. But Mordo is my big want as far as don't waste this opportunity, don't waste this actor, don't waste this character. So in the way that we didn't ever get to see a good Sinestro.
I believe though, and it is just my opinion, but even if that is okay, so if it is Professor X that we hear, which we know we hear, I don't believe it's going to be the Professor X going forward in this version of the MCU at all.
Definitely not.
I just think it's an iteration that's going to fill that spot, and I don't think it's going to be a huge prominent role. I just think it's going to be there for a particular reason.
This is
at
fan
that moment.
service, acknowledging what we loved about the Fox properties, but keep leaving aside what we didn't love. But we loved Hugh Jackman. We loved Patrick Stewart. We loved those actors in those roles, and they made their film versions of them iconic. But that's the great thing, is you can introduce those so we can finally have those great actors and those great character versions of them in the MCU, but they don't have to be the long-term ones, because the whole point of the multiverse is that there are so many different iterations of these characters and their look and their feel and their temperament and their backstories. So we could have, Logan, we could have Hugh Jackman, and we could have Patrick Stewart in this film as just a really great nod to the fans and to those actors and to everything they've dedicated to those roles. But moving forward, we're going to get new iterations of those characters, and that's why we had hints at House of M in WandaVision, and that's why she's pursuing her children, and that being an avenue that could bring in mutants. So there's so much that can be done there. But this is a nice kind of honoring those actors. I mean, Hugh Jackman played the role for 17 years.
Yeah.
And we all wanted to see him in an Avengers movie at some point, and he wanted it. He was just, 5 or 10 years too late.
Mm.
Yeah. Real quick, couple of super chats here. We have DJ N. Wonder if Kang is going to cause some mischief here. Don't know. Possibly, but we don't know yet. They might keep it basically confined to just certain characters in this film. SpongeBob SquareBalls. If Strange made such a grievous error to the multiverse, why would the Illuminati be examining him and not the TVA? There's a reason why. Okay, so in the interest of time, so the multiverse, there's a position here. You have the multiverse, but then you also have the multiverse in the interest of time.
Yeah, these might not affect the timelines. The
timeline. This might basically affect different individuals within the timeline, within the multiverse. And because of that, and because of those things, different iterations of these characters are in those universes. So they have to come together to figure out how to stop, because you got to keep in mind and we know this of the multiverse in general, no matter what you do as an individual to avoid what's going to happen, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. You can't stop it. Right. You can't stop it from happening.
And remember,
there could be something where Strange has figured out a way, or a version of Strange has figured out a way to stop it, and which has completely effed everything up. And this is why they're coming together. So again, the TVA, in the interest of time, this is the multiverse, a multiversal threat with not just the time variant, not just time variants and stuff like that, but then a threat within each pocket universe. You know what I mean?
Remember, we also don't know when the TVA and the events of Loki actually take place in relation to the other films and TV shows in the MCU, right? Because he travels out of 2012, and then he's out of time in the TVA, and then he travels 2 specific times throughout the show, but we don't know where the events of that, Coolio Supreme, there you go, are in relation to this movie. So the stuff that's gone on in Loki may not have happened yet.
Yo, somebody's gonna meme Mordo and put Coolio's face on their watch. I'm predicting the person who's gonna do it. It's either Bob Dylan. It's gonna be Bob Dylan. I'm just gonna call that Bob Dylan, or somebody else is gonna meme Coolio's face on Mordo. Bob Dylan is probably doing it right now. But yeah.
But aren't they making Secret Invasion right now?
Yeah, they are.
And
They are. Well, they haven't started filming, but they are making that for Disney+.
But Secret Invasion is totally involves Iron Man and Captain Fantastic and or Mr. Fantastic, and then you're bringing in some Skrulls and Shield, and so.
Yeah, but remember that this is not the 616 main universe from the comics. Kevin Feige has always said that. So he's going to take some things from the comics and then some things he's not. He's going to twist some things. He's going to put a new spin
we're also
on it.
assuming the arrest comes at the end of the movie. It could come at the end of the movie when he's walking in with the
we have no idea when it's happening, but as far as Secret
it could be
Invasion
in,
goes,
yeah,
that's not like we don't. Again, they can easily do something along the lines of Secret Invasion without Iron Man. It doesn't have to be, because again, remember, there are a lot of storylines that we've gotten so far. First of all, like Ultron, like that was Hank Pym. Right, it was Hank Pym and Tony, and we haven't had Hank Pym was taken completely out of that, and it was Tony and Bruce. So they don't have to lean on every detail of the Secret Invasion. I guarantee you, this one is going to be significantly different than the comics.
Oh yeah,
Coolio is not going anywhere.
I think we're going to get some building blocks of the more Mr. Fantastic, some different. Characters are going to get introduced.
Now, this is assuming that we believe. Now, mind you, again, we're leading towards the Illuminati, but we have to also prepare for what it's possible that it might not even be the Illuminati. It could be something totally different. So we have to kind of think about that too. Right now, hearing that voice and looking at those chairs, we're like, okay, that's the Illuminati.
I'm sticking with Illuminati. I'm sticking with that.
And that's what I'm saying. But we got to also just think it. Okay, and it could be the Illuminati, but not the iteration that we know. You feel me? It could be a totally different iteration, but not the same
definitely.
characters.
This is not the one that kicked off World War Hulk. I think this is, in which I think it was Ashley Chase who was asking about the Illuminati earlier. Essentially, the Illuminati was. A small group of basically some of the most intelligent and powerful minds in
they each represented
the Marvel
something.
Comics.
Yeah.
And what they did was they came together in a way to basically do a number of things, but one of their big things was coming together to figure out a plan to deal with the Hulk if they could not control him any longer. And what they ended up doing was catapulting the Hulk out into space off of Earth. He lands on Sakaar. He goes through the whole World War Hulk thing there, and then comes back and basically kind of wages war on all the superheroes that ejected him from Earth. And that's one of the biggest Hulk storylines, and they semi-adapted that when they had him in Thor Ragnarok. But so the Illuminati has done some good stuff, but they've also done some really shady shit, too.
Yeah.
And I think this version is, like I said, not going to be one universe. I think it's a multiversal Illuminati where you have, like, Xavier from this universe, and you've got T'Challa from this one, and Reed from this one. That's my guess, anyway.
Also, keep in mind that each member of the Illuminati were trusted with a stone, with one of the stones itself. Yeah, they were trusted with the stone. And one of the reasons why Cap himself was betrayed is because they constructed a weapon that could basically wipe out a variant, or actually wipe out a portion of the multiverse if there was a threat, and he went against it and he didn't like it. So what they did was they completely erased his memory of anything that had to do with the Illuminati. Literally. And then once we got into, I forget what series that was, what was it called? Fear itself.
Fear
itself.
It was Fear itself. When what happened was all memories, everything that was forgotten was brought back. So everything that all memories that were wiped out, like the truth, it was basically all truth and memory. Like we discovered at that time that Wanda and Pietro weren't the children of Magneto. And in the books, which they basically did a complete rewrite that I hated, in the books, they were Inhumans. They weren't mutants. And I hated that version of it. But also, that's when we found out, Cap found out that, you know, there were, the Illuminati had erased his memory, which they considered to protect him or to protect the universe. They basically needed to silence him in a sense, which was real effed up. And also, we found out there was a secret that Charles Xavier was keeping from the mutants. So, yeah, it was a lot.
That's actually pretty funny, too, because, you know, with Cap being pissed that they erased his memory and that setting up a conflict there, it's not all that dissimilar from what just kicked off the whole Devil's Reign storyline in Marvel Comics right now, because Matt Murdock used the children of the Purple Man to kind of make the world forget about his secret identity. And Wilson Fisk realized that Daredevil did something because he used to be able to know who Daredevil was, and now he doesn't know anymore. And when Fisk realizes that Daredevil messed with his brain and that he can't remember who the secret identity was, that's when he's like, this is the last straw, and he basically declares all-out war on superheroes, on vigilantes in New York City.
Spoiler alert.
What the Illuminati did to Cap, Daredevil kind of did to everybody, and Fisk got pissed off, and now Fisk is going after all the superheroes. So there's
and
a nice
wait a
parallel
minute,
there.
Didn't the last book end with him finding out everything?
Him remembering
everything.
Yeah, he because he had the cane that had the Purple Man, and all
him
of a sudden he
and,
remembers, because the last frame of that book is Kingpin. The art is phenomenal, and he just looks up super pissed, and he's like, Matt Murdock.
It's
and it's
like, him and Typhoid Mary. They had that conversation. They wanted to remember everything that there was about, you know, just memories of how the many times that they've made love and they've actually had this relationship, and the moments that they wanted to remember that where it was peace between them. And he said, with that cane in his head, you know, and in hand, I wish there were ways for us to do it. And as soon as he hit it on the ground, boom, all memories. And so we found out that there was a power of the Purple Man had that he probably, he knew, but we didn't know, because all we saw from him was mind manipulation. But he actually has the power to make you remember everything. So that book ended that. I was like, yo, okay. So anyway, not getting off track. Yes. What were you going to say, KG or Lou?
I was going to say this, sticking real quick with Kingpin. That just goes to show you how intelligent Kingpin is. Like, he's used to certain things being habit. What makes you think that Kingpin did not put that into his cane so that way, in case of something like this would occur, he would therefore remember?
Well, in this case, it wasn't intentional, because he didn't even realize that he had that ability with that cane. He didn't even, like, it wasn't a fail-safe that he put in place. It was something that he got after he had already lost his memory through working with the Purple Man and the experiments that he was doing with, like, Doc Ock and stuff. So it wasn't a fail-safe that he put in. But what you're saying is true, in that one of the reasons why Kingpin has been such a great foe for superheroes with, like, superhuman powers, when he's, like, massive and strong, but he's still a human being, is that he is a chess player. It's that he's thinking 10 steps ahead, is that he's devious and sadistic and very, very just highly intelligent, and crafty and strategic. And so that's one of the things that I think we're going to see a lot more of too in this, having Vincent D'Onofrio back in the MCU. I think we're going to see, whether it's in film or in Disney Plus shows, I think we're going to see a lot more of that as he and Daredevil get back into the mix in the MCU. But yeah, it's just, that's one of the reasons why he's such a cool character.
What I'm interested in seeing right now, though, and what I'm interested in knowing is how the hell. Now, again, this is an iteration. Now, mind you, this could be a segue into, us seeing, Tony's work put in play but done right. This could be basically us seeing Tony. It might not even be basically Superior Iron Man. It could be basically just the multiverse version of Tony Stark who actually did things the right way. We don't know. But is this going to be interesting to see this, because it could be him or it could be Ultron. It could be basically the Superior Ultron. So we don't know.
And this isn't the only scene we see them in.
No.
Yeah.
There's a scene in the hospital with Christine where an Ultron bot runs out from behind her. So I think they're gonna have more roles. They're gonna be in this a little bit more than just this one scene. So I think, like I said, I think Ultron could be playing a role here.
Or it could be Hank Pym as Ultron. I'm reaching.
My guess is it would be.
It could be.
He's right. They could bring a version of Hank Pym in.
It could be.
But I don't know if they're. I just hope it's not like a de-aged Michael Douglas kind of thing. Like, I'd rather give us, because it's the multiverse, give us a different version of Hank Pym. Again, it's a big if, but if they are gonna do another actor like Cruz or something as as Iron Man, there you go. There you go. That was Bob Dylan, right?
Bob Dylan, man. I swear to God.
There you go.
Yo, Bob Dylan, man.
Oh,
Bob
yeah.
Dylan.
That's what he just sent me. Okay, yeah.
What the fuck?
There we go.
Yo.
That is so awesome.
Bob Dylan.
That is great.
Bob
Well
Dylan.
Well done.
Well done. Well played. Well played. Well played, bro. Like.
Well played, good sir.
Yo. But yes. So I'm definitely interested in that. But I'm also interested again. We are getting iterations now, mind you. We see, because there's so much that we actually see in this, bro. We see the fractured shield of Captain Carter. Do you think, let me ask you a question? Do you think at some point we're going to see Katie Atwell in this show, in this film?
Haley Atwell?
Yeah.
I desperately hope we do. Yes, I really, really. I mean, you can't show that you can't show that shield and us not now. Will it be seeing an animated version of her, since it is actually in the trailer we do see an animated kind of scene?
Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I hope we get to see her in live action. Haley Atwell is just. I mean, Lael, you have. As much as I'm a fan of ScarJo, you have her. For me, it's Haley Atwell. That woman is a goddess. Anytime we get to see more of her, I'm 100% on board. I'm still heartbroken that we didn't get a third season of Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a theory on the zombie Strange, if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead.
So, this might be stretching it, but do you guys think that this might be Guardian Strange? Because, I mean, we see him dying. Well, what we expect to see him dying.
Wait, do you mean Defender Strange?
Defender Strange, because I'm seeing this hint of red, right? And it looks very similar to the hint of red on his outfit.
No, because Defender Strange is the one that we see with the white strips on the side of the head earlier in the trailer.
And his hair is
That's
slicked
Defender
completely
Strange.
back.
This is either, in my opinion, I think this is either the Strange Supreme, the one who's saying things are about to get really odd. It's either him gone full tilt, because if you notice, his cape is basically being made up of all of the demons that in the What If episode he was sucking. That's Defender Strange.
Yeah,
and I think he's gonna die early on. And I think that's what
the reason
Strange
why
is
I
remembering
said that
or dreaming of.
Right. The reason why I said that's because when I was going in slow motion, when he was turning around, he had a scar very similar to Zombie Strange, where he had the scar around his eye. I believe it's his right or left eye. I was like, that kind of looks, that same scar kind of looks like the same thing as the Zombie Strange. I'm like, that might be Guardian Strange. I'm just throwing out.
It could be a completely other Strange that we haven't even thought of yet. But yeah, because I think Defender Strange dies. Like, it looks like he got. I think he dies, and I think the zombie one is either a complete new one that we haven't even thought of or seen yet, or it's Strange Supreme fully gone over, like gone full tilt on, to the dark side, whatever. But I think it's likely one of those two.
Sure.
Or, I mean, it could be, like, we could all be way off the fucking mark, because
it could be
we were saying for months that Mephisto was going to be, in WandaVision and No Way Home, and motherfucker is playing hide and go seek, and he's really fucking good at hiding. So
yeah, and I think that maybe you guys might have noticed, but that house that we see, I mean, that's the Doctor Strange place, right? Where we see in the beginning where it's everything is, in ruins, and the only building left is the, I forgot what the building is called, but Doctor Strange building.
You talking about the Sanctum?
The Sanctum, yeah.
And I think that's Supreme. I don't think that's a nightmare scene. I think that's a different reality, because he's saying, I'm seeing these nightmares and things like that. But I think that's Supreme Strange's, Sanctum Sanctorum. That's what I think.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think that we're missing something here, because didn't the rumors say that we were supposed to see Nightmare as the main villain?
I heard that the original director that was supposed to direct the first and second, well, he did direct
Scott
the first
Derrickson,
film.
The guy who did the first one.
Yeah, he mentioned that he really wanted Nightmare in the first film, and then obviously something happened with Kevin Feige and him, and because they didn't want really a horror type of film for the second one, because he was going to include Nightmare, but I don't think, because I know it was mentioned. People were like, the Nightmare Begins, right? Like, that's a hint of Nightmare, right? But I'm not sure if Nightmare is going to be included in the film. I mean, who knows?
Because if the Doctor Strange that we're seeing, that's seeing this multiverse version of himself constantly dying, or multiple versions of himself dying in dreams, in nightmares, it could be Nightmare and really like possessing his appearance, not necessarily possessing him, but his appearance, and bringing out all that into the film as well. But
that could be it too. Yeah.
But real quick, I gotta say this shot right here was freaking amazing. And the fact that we got a MCU look of what is Sidorak. This is Sidorak.
Sidorak, the bands of Sidorak, which the bands of Sidorak, can you school them real quick on who Sidorak creates?
Bands of Sidorak creates our favorite so-called mutant, who's not even a mutant, but he be whipping that baton, Juggy.
Yeah,
because it's
Juggernaut,
bitch. Part of my French. But it's Juggy, baby. It's Juggy. Yeah. So if we're gonna get the
whose half brother is in this movie.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this film, real quick, I'll pass the mic over to you. This movie is a perfect introduction to give us all these little sprinkles of what's yet to come from X-Men and other secondary B-class, C-class Avenger teams that we didn't get, like West Coast Avengers, so on and so forth, and other teams like what was it? The not Young It was the Warriors and other characters like that. Other teams like that we normally don't see, like Speedball and everybody else.
Preach. Because I'm gonna tell you, the bands of Sidorak are also Sidorak is the source of it. Because remember, America Chavez is from a multiverse. She's from a different universe, and she's a race. They basically are a very powerful race, and Sidorak is the one who granted them the ability. So I'm wondering if he steps in and is like, hold up, you're doing too much. And the reason why, because we're seeing Sidorak right now, if he's actually just right now containing her, saying, yo, what are you doing? Like, literally, what are you doing? Like, that's why, I love America Chavez, bro. I really do.
Oh,
I
I'm
love her.
so excited.
Yes,
You know,
I'm
it
so
just
excited
shows-
about it.
It just shows that, you know, when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, why would they show us Professor X? But then I'm thinking, like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be a whole lot of
Oh
cameos.
my God, bro.
Well, they stopped writing this
That's
too.
just a small tease. I mean, we're going to get something big in this film. It might be bigger than No Way Home.
But the movie shifted as soon as Fox got bought.
Yeah.
They
did.
Stopped and threw it off the table and added some. So we are going to get Juggernaut, Deadpool's, some of the X-Men, and they have to.
Give us X-Force. Give me X-Force. Give me X-Force.
Did you say Deadpools? Plural? Multiple Deadpools?
Deadpools. There's going to be multiple Deadpools, bro. I believe that.
Deadpool core, baby. Deadpool core, baby.
I'm telling you, it's going to be multiple, bro. I honestly basically believe that. But, yo, I mean, look, there's nothing off the table when it comes to
Zombies
this.
also coming?
Huh?
Marvel Zombies,
Yeah, Marvel Zombies,
Zombies is coming.
There's gonna be another animated show that is Marvel Zombies.
Can't wait for that. Yeah.
Yo, hey, Brendan. Fist pump, bro. We were right the entire time, bro. Like we would.
When are people gonna learn?
Loco.
When
we were schooling people 6 months ago, bro.
And you know who you were.
And you know who
we
were
are.
schooling people.
You know.
We were schooling them. We were like, yo, this is going to happen. We are going to get a live action Captain Carter. I told people when they thought I was playing.
Yeah,
it's coming,
happen.
baby. It's coming. Come
the
on,
thing
man.
too, because when we mentioned about the animated series, we're not gonna get a live action. Maybe we might be just getting a animated version of Captain Carter.
They're
going into that They're going into that cartoon animation universe, and that just could be it. I mean, maybe we might not get a live action.
It's entirely possible that
I think we're going to get a live
but
action.
I don't see
really
that.
believe
I mean,
it.
that Haley Atwell is so beloved. It's a really cool
No,
multiversal element. I don't see them not doing that in live action. 100% the character will be in this movie, maybe as animated. But I don't see, at the very least, if they did a Captain Carter Disney Plus show, that would happen.
Bob Dylan, give me live action Haley Atwell with Captain Thickness, please. Hot Toy.
Oh my God,
all day.
I'm still waiting.
Bro, I just want her to come in and whoop everybody's ass and be like, "I told y'all so."
I'm still waiting on Peggy Carter Hot Toys from the Cap films and from the Peggy Carter show. Like, come on. How do we not have one?
Yeah, we need a Peggy.
Yeah, come on, man.
Don't tell me about the third party one, because that stuff was doo-doo stew.
Yeah. What's up?
And I'm just saying, speaking of Hot Toys, now we're going to the Hot Toys route. But do you guys think we're going to get multiple Stranges from Hot Toys, or you think there's going to be
Oh yes. Oh hell yeah.
At least 4.
You think so?
Yeah. Hell
That's
yeah.
why they put out the one with No Way Home, because it's so similar
Yeah.
to just the regular, because it's all
hell yeah.
about the variant Stranges that they're going
Do
to
you
put out.
guys think we're going to get a Wong and an American Chavez? I don't think so.
America Chavez, yes. I would say yes for America
Yeah.
So as much as I want them to, I don't think they're going to do it. It depends on her role in the film.
I really want them to, but honestly, I'm not as convinced that they're going to make America Chavez. They should.
Yeah, me neither.
And I
They
want
should.
them to. I'm not exactly convinced that they're going to, for the simple fact that I think Hot Toys is going to look at
Bam.
wrote the
Bam.
Yep.
Bam.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Exactly.
think that they're going to look at America
Yep.
Chavez and think,
Mhm.
she's
no.
superhero-esque, toyetic kind of. I don't think that they're going to make her. They should have already made a Wong. I'm bullish on whether or not they're going to do that. And I like those the three that I would really want other than Strange in this. It would be America Chavez, would be Wong, and would be Mordo. And the fact that we didn't get Wong or Mordo from the first film is banana pants.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And I think this might be maybe the darkest Marvel film we're ever gonna get so far from Marvel. I mean, from what
so
we're
far,
seeing,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that TV with not just Zombie Strange, but that scene where we see Wanda and coming close, you could see. I don't know if that's Zombie Wanda.
No, that's Kang.
This will be the kind of darkest tone MCU property that we have until Blade.
Yeah.
Until Blade.
This is gonna be dark as hell, bro.
And one thing too. Now we know this movie is gonna be great, right? We know it. But the question is, what is the runtime for this film? What do you guys think the runtime of this film be?
They haven't announced it yet.
Now,
it's gonna be about 2.5. Yeah.
I say 220.
I say as many cameos as the rumors are, spreading out. I think this movie might be 3 hours long. I'm just saying. I mean,
I think it's gonna be 2.5. I think it'll be 2.5.
I don't see 2.5.
They're gonna dull it down. They're not gonna make a 3-hour film because the thing is they're trying to fill seats and they want to make money. 3-hour films means less views, so it's gonna probably be about 2.5. At least 2.5, 2:45 or 2.5. Three is gonna definitely be pushing it. But I mean, a lot of people are saying 3 hours. I'd sit my ass there for 3 hours. More Marvel, give it to me all day. I'd definitely do it, but I don't know.
What you say? We all think it's going to be great. I hope so, but I'm hoping that they don't do the bullshit where he just falls through some worlds.
Yeah,
and we just get like blip, 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 blip.
Like a blip of each world and not really see it fleshed out. Yeah,
now,
I don't want to see that shit either.
Now, I don't know much about comics that much, but there is a scene where we see like a Jurassic World type of world. Now,
Savage Land.
Savage Land.
Like X-Men and all those characters.
Savage Land.
We see the Savage Land in the clips here.
Yeah.
The thing is, the short 30-second spot in the Super Bowl actually has a number of different shots than the full length 2-minute one that was online. And one of the things, it's actually when we see Strange going through that kind of broken glass and we see the animated kind of world behind him, on the other side behind him is the Savage Land. You can make out some of the dinosaurs and stuff. So again, bringing in the Savage Land is also pretty goddamn cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Shot in the longer version, they have the shot of Wanda in the house, and the other Wanda's approaching her.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was that house never existed.
Yeah.
So she's within her own, reality, or
her own bubble
world inside her head, trying to fix something. So,
did you guys also notice that scene where they're in the fields, Wanda and Doctor Strange? I think that's all deception. That's all. That's a trick. And we see the next scene where she talks about, when you break the rules, you become the hero. When I break the rules, I become the enemy. That's the same scene. But it's all deception, It's like, it's all beautiful and everything, but no, it's actually Wanda in her dark times. That's pretty cool. I can't wait to see that.
And so you bring up, that's the point, and I'm glad that's a good segue because I'm trying to find this. I know I actually saved it here earlier.
Do you guys think Wanda is the villain? I don't think so.
Bro,
I think she takes it. I think either she takes a little bit of a villainous turn for a little while, or another universe's version of her does. But I think it's going to be manipulated by somebody that either we haven't seen or Mordo, because that line that she delivers when she's like, when I do this, or when you do this, you're a hero. When I do this, I'm the villain, I'm breaking the rules. And she's like, it's the delivery of the last part. It's very kind of like, it's very kind of menacing, where it's like, where she says, I don't think that's particularly fair. I mean, it's the delivery of that specific line that I think at that moment she's a villain. Now, whether she's under the influence of somebody else, or it's a different universe's version of her, I don't know. But I do think she and Strange are going to be on opposing sides at some point during this. I don't think it's necessarily the crux of the film. I don't think she's the film's main antagonist.
I don't think so either.
But I do think she's going to be, fucking some shit up.
And
I think there's going to be a pivotal point, though, in this film where there's something that she's going to do. And I think this is going to be a breaking point for her. If you look at this scene, look at the house. Yeah. Look at that. This is basically their house. But look how it looks. It looks damn near obliterated. And so something happened here.
I want to bring up that there's another scene, and this involves with Wanda and her problems as well, where there's a scene where towards the end we see a close-up shot in Wanda's eye. You can see there's I think it's also in the TV spot where we see what's the character's name?
Mordo?
No, Rachel McAdams plays her.
Christine.
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 Night Nurse. Yeah.
Right. We see Christine, right? But we see two cells, and they have two. There's one cell each. I think that's Wanda's kids being held up in the Illuminati, place.
I know what you're talking about. When I saw it, you saw Strange, and then you saw America Chavez.
Yeah.
Now remember, they could be doing what, like Kevin Feige has said that they're going to do, and they have done in the past. They could be taking one of the biggest, because remember, everybody was all about, like, we want to see World War Hulk and Planet Hulk on the big screen, right? And we got that somewhat in Thor Ragnarok, somewhat. But what if they're flipping that on its head? And whereas in the comics, the Illuminati were saying that this threat that was uncontrollable, that they needed to get rid of on Earth was Banner. What if the Illuminati is talking to whatever iteration of Strange this might be in this trailer, because they're saying that Wanda and what she's doing with the Darkhold, or what she's doing to try and find her kids, is the threat to the multiverse. Maybe the Illuminati is maybe Wanda is the substitute for the Hulk in this case with the Illuminati, and they're trying to deal with her.
Because that's and Professor X says he has to know the truth. We have to tell him the truth, and it could be the truth. Now, here's my thing:
there it
is this?
This is Illuminati's headquarters.
Is this?
Yeah, it is, because
looks like
that rug. I don't know if that's a rug, but that rug looks very similar to the rug where we see Doctor Strange being, taken up to the Illuminati, where Professor X. This is Illuminati base.
There.
And then
in that room.
Right, and then here's the thing too. There was a leak scene that showed that she is fighting against Professor X, and it seems to be true, because that same leaker posted the same as Ultron. These Ultron bots next to Strange, being handcuffed, and in front of him we see Professor X. So this is the same leaker, and in this leak we see Wanda covered in blood, as you see here, going against Professor X. So this is a scene we can see her going against him.
Yeah, they're basically treating her like the Phoenix almost.
So she's somewhat, and a lot of people have been calling the simple fact that, she could possibly be, the villain of this film, bro. Like, she could possibly be one of, not completely just her, but she could be a villain that was stoked.
I think she's going to have a villainous
She's
turn.
just an opposition.
Remember, what I've been saying for months is that I think Strange is going to be the villain in his own film. And I think one of these iterations of Strange, whether it's the zombie Strange or whether that's the same as the Strange Supreme, one of them, I've been saying for months, is going to be one of the main villains in this movie.
Yeah, man, this film is going to be huge.
You know what? Because it's oh man, y'all making I got a headache now, because KG, you bring up an interesting point, because even I'm looking at what Tobar said. Her kids are in the cell, that's why she can't find them, but she can hear the voice, and she's looking for him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that shit, man.
Because look, even throughout the comic book iterations, we do see that Wanda is obsessed with her kids, and every mother is obsessed with her kids, right? And we can see that she will do anything in her power to get her kids back. Yeah. And even in the House of M comics, I haven't read it, but I've read and did research on it. When she says no more mutants, I think it's the comic book cover, and I think it's during the scene where people were paying homage, or they probably paid homage to that scene where we see Strange. His face is being morphed into these blocks, and people are like, "Oh, it's the same cover as the where we see Wanda being, cut into pieces like puzzle." Do you guys know that cover? So she would do anything in her power to get her kids. So we're gonna see that. We're gonna see her full potential, in this film and what she's gonna do.
Yo, I'm just excited.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just super fucking excited about this film, bro. Like, on so many.
Again.
May 6th.
May 6th.
Yeah.
May 6th.
It's a couple months away, guys. We almost got it. It's imminent. So we're getting closer.
That's gonna be a week, man. You got May the 4th.
Yeah.
And then you got Strange.
Oh shit! Am I going to be in?
Yep.
Oh wait, are you going to be at Celebration? No, wait, Celebration's at the end of May.
Yeah, Celebration's at the end of the month. No,
It's like
I'll be
May
good. I'll be
25th,
good.
26th,
I'll be
or
good.
something like that.
I'll be good. Whew. I could have. So I was about
Man,
to say, oh shit.
I just love the fact that Sam Raimi is directing this film, and he's known for his horror movies, you know, and he's gonna bring everything into the table for this film, and I just can't wait to see his work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be amazing.
I'm super excited. All right, we've reached the 2-hour point, man. I didn't think it was going to be that, but we have reached that point. I'm so glad everybody came through. I'm so glad we had this discussion, man. Like, you guys rock, y'all. You know what I mean? I am calling something. I am calling one thing, though, and I think we got a hint of this in No Way Home real quick before I leave, before we close out.
Right.
It was a scene when you know, Pete and Sandman first met Jamie Foxx's his character, and he said, "Do you not see me? Y'all act like y'all don't see me butt naked." I think in this film we're gonna get a variant of Brendan butt ass naked, and I'm telling you, we're gonna get a variant. We're gonna get a butt naked variant in this film, and it's gonna be Brendan.
It's gonna be cold.
Like,
Turkey's done.
Like straight up. Straight up. But nah, man, thanks everybody. Thanks everybody for coming through, man. Maya, I mean, you're amazing. Thank you for coming through. I threw it at you. I was like, "Hey, you available?" She said, "I am available after 6 something." I was like, "Thank you for coming through." There you go. Thank you for coming through. So I do. It. Yes, and your knowledge.
I learn more than I do from like my years of reading comics in like a 2-hour window. And I've been writing down for the last 2 hours like all the books that you guys are throwing at me. I gotta go do some Juggernaut research.
Oh yeah, come on. You're talking to some pros. You're talking to some pros. Lou, Brendan, and KG. Tell her she's talking to some pros. Like with some pros. We live this. We bleed it. Like, yo, literally sometimes Brendan will wake up in the morning and he'll throw me, like, it'd be like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning and he's talking shop. And I'm like, bro, can I wake up? Like, can I please?
Motherfucker, because he's sending me text messages. He's sending me text messages at like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Like, man, I'm trying to fucking get some sleep. I got to get up in a couple hours. So, you know what, like, you can deal with a couple early morning texts, motherfucker.
I have about 1,500 comics.
Well,
And I started collecting late. I'm not going to say. Very fucking long time. So, So I can tell you this how long. They were 35 cents.
Yeah. I ain't seen a 35-cent comic since I ain't seen a $1.25 comic
a long time
since
ago. Wow.
It's been a while. It's been a while, man.
25-cent comics,
straight up.
1992.
So, Lael, just
$1.75.
Before we jump off, One Pouch Man had a question that I think. See, Mark. I got you, Mark. I got you. That's what. So you know what? We'll have Mark on the show when you send him those beats. How about that? That means we'll never have Mark on the show. So no, we'll get Mark on the show, and the whole stream will just be. We're not ending the stream until you send the beats. Right now, you got to send them before we sign off.
I can't send them from this computer. I had to boot up the other one.
It's
over
always
here.
an excuse. But One Pouch Man had a question that I'm sure a lot of people do who aren't that familiar with the comics.
How are the kids alive since they were constructs of her mind? But
you got comics. They were ripped. They were also started out. Her powers, which she is only just now scratching the surface of, her powers made those kids real. In the comics. Okay?
Yep.
So whether she makes them real in some other universe and then like because she's not in full control of her powers yet, and then she's trying to get to them and bring them to her, something like that. We don't know exactly, but her powers go way beyond just creating the illusion of that town in WandaVision.
Yeah.
In some reality, those kids
Wanda is
manifest
Omega
into
level.
real life.
Yeah,
Well,
she's
see,
crazy.
you got to keep in mind too.
She is an Omega.
Yeah, she's an Omega level mutant, but also keep in mind that when the kids originally were created, the earlier iteration of the books, when they were created, they were versions of souls that were split. There was actually Mephisto's soul that was split in half and separated between both kids. So the only way for him to get himself back was both kids had to die, in which they did.
Yeah,
she later on brought the kids back. She brought them back. So yes, that's the extent of her power and the attachment. The thing is, we can all say right now that we realize that Wanda could never ever be a Jedi because she has attachment issues. She has attachment issues.
She'll be a perfect set.
You brought up a really good point.
Yeah, right.
Vision? Does Vision show up?
100%.
Oh hell, 100%.
Yeah, why is Vision going to show up? But you brought up a good point, Leila. Is it possible now? I know we've been saying Mephisto every time, right? But do you think now, if Wanda gets her kids back, let's say she gets her kids back, right? Do you think Mephisto's like, ha, gotcha, I got the kids finally, and he kills them right off? Do you think in some version we'll see that in this film, or do you think it's never going to happen? Where she finally gets her kids,
She
right?
has to kill them.
Yeah, finally gets her kids, and then Mephisto's like, oh, well, got them now, so right away, just get them. Do you guys think that's going to happen?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think people have been talking about Mephisto for so long that I think when he shows up, it's going to be like an unexpected cock slap across the face. Like, you're not going to see it coming.
Yeah,
it's just going to be like, we're all going to be, holy shit, they just did it. He's here. Just like we, at least Lael knows, just like I lost my shit when I heard Patrick Stewart last night or on Sunday, right? It's going to be that level of like, we're anticipating him for, I think he's going to end up showing up in a property like that just completely shocks the shit out of us. So we're not talking about Mephisto at all, and that's when they're gonna do it. And I think Kevin Feige is like, I can't wait to fuck with these guys. Like I think he knows that we've all been wanting it and thinking he's coming at every turn, and it's gonna happen sometime. But I think it's gonna happen when we least expect it. And I think as far as the kids go, I don't think you bring Mephisto in after the fact and say like, oh well, that's like my soul split into like in the comics. You have to have the groundwork of that character before you do that, in my opinion. Maybe they come up with a better way to do it. I don't know, but that's why I think Mephisto is going to be that kind of. It's going to be that punch that every fighter never sees coming, and it's the one that puts them on the mat.
Yeah, what are you gonna say, Loco?
I was gonna say this. Did you notice also in the trailer? When Doctor Strange is walking through the doors and he opens the doors.
Oh, yeah, I know you're going to bring that up.
The face of Mephisto. That's what
the skulls on the door, people are saying. I think that's just supposed to... Honestly, I don't think that's Mephisto. I think that's just supposed to be creepy as fuck, like iconography. I don't think it's supposed to.
People want Mephisto so damn bad, bro. Like they want that iteration so damn bad.
I think ever since WandaVision, people really wanted this Mephisto thing to happen. I mean, everybody was theorizing.
People wanted Mephisto in Far From Home. People wanted talking about Mephisto in Far From Home.
To be quite honest,
everybody tripping. That's what it was.
Look, you know what? To be quite honest, I think we might not even get Mephisto until Agatha's show. To be quite honest, that could be possible. We could actually get her shoehorned into that particular.
That's a very good point.
That would be the show to drop it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He might be teased in this one, and Sam Raimi, I'm sure, would love to get his hands on that character. I don't think they're going to do it in this one.
I just can't. Hey, you know what? We're forgetting the simple fact that we're saying all this shit now. There's an after credit, y'all. There always is. There's an after credit, y'all. Like there is always an after credit. It is going to probably be 2 different after credits, and that's where you're going to find butt naked.
Wasn't he teased in Loki though? Wasn't he teased in Loki?
I'm not sure.
There was a scene where what's the guy's name? The guy with a mustache in the suit. What's his name?
Mobius.
Mobius.
Not Morbius.
Not Morbius. Mobius.
But on the wall, we see a devil Like he was like the little kid was pointing at the wall, at the window, and it showed the devil's face. Was that a tease of Mephisto, or do you think that was just like, oh, just something?
No. It's
that was a
Devilish
placement.
Waves. Devilish Waves. It's a placement.
Yeah, that wasn't. That was just a placement. It had nothing to do with Mephisto.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, it was just a placement. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a placement point to. It was actually feeding the narrative of because if I think the devil on because I hold up, weren't they in Spain?
Yeah, they were.
Because now wasn't that the devil Corjo? Wasn't that Corjo? That was the devil Corjo. So Corjo, okay. So the devil Corjo, the demon Corjo, is a master manipulator, and also the demon can actually change form, shapeshifter. It becomes multiple versions of itself. So that was a placement. It was telling you within the narrative that this was what was going to happen in the show. We were getting different variants. So that was just a placement.
Wow, I did not know that.
Damn.
If you notice, when it comes to
knowledge,
the Judeo-Christian inklings of the devil, we have Mephisto and Marvel, right?
Exactly.
But in the MCU, what I've noticed is that every time we think it's Mephisto, it's just the opposition and the story being told by the opposition.
Wow, yeah, that's a good point.
Loki,
ideology, bro.
Yeah, it's all about saying like the devil's in everybody. It's how do you allow it to come out?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Stained glass, though.
What'd you say?
Right. The stained glass church.
Yep.
Window.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
It's the demon Corjo. So that's it. It is. There's. It was. Yeah. The demon Corjo was actually told even in Revelations.
Even the writers of WandaVision said that they had to do reshoots or just rewrites because the original script had Mephisto in it and Doctor Strange, but they had to do reshoots because of COVID and things like that. Something happened. They had to do rewrites. So Mephisto was originally supposed to be WandaVision.
And also remember that Mephisto has a little bit of a rivalry with a certain moon god. Okay, Mephisto and Khonshu do not really get along.
No.
And just recently in the comics, they went head to head, and that was the reason, that was the impetus behind Moon Knight beating the piss out of the entire Avengers team.
Yeah.
One, just single-handedly just mollywopping them.
Yeah.
So,
and also, basically, you got to also keep in mind that Mephisto and Sidorak aren't on good terms either because they're both trying to rule a segment of hell as much as they can. Yep. Yeah. There you go. Yep.
Midnight Suns and
the Midnight Suns.
They're doing another Midnight Suns book.
Yes.
And the video game is coming out.
Don't worry, I'm working on your contract. KG.
There you go.
No, wait. So wait, I'm actually glad that there was a Blade character. Blade was in there. Somebody pointed out.
Let me pull that up.
And somebody pointed out in the trailer where we see them, and this might be reaching it too much, but in the Illuminati scene where we see all the chairs, we see a figure having a sword in the back. Do you guys think that's Blade, or do you guys think that's someone else?
You're talking about this. You're talking about this right here.
Yeah. If we go to the scene, no. If you go to the scene,
when they're in the chairs, like when we
see
the chairs.
in the chairs.
Blade has never been a part of the Illuminati.
Right, but it's Marvel. It's the cinematic universe. Things could change for them. They could just add anybody they wanted to.
Yeah, but see, there are a number of characters that I think you could bring into the Illuminati. Blade isn't really a good fit. It's more about It's more about like intelligence level, and power set. Like these guys are the top brains, minds, not just brains in terms of like science and intellect in that sense, but in terms of brain power, like Xavier and Black Bolt and stuff.
Though. One represents magic, science.
Yeah. So it's not something that Blade. It's not something that Blade really slots into very well.
Right. The reason why I said it is because when there was a silhouette of a figure having a sword in the back, I'm like, wait, the only thing I can think of is Blade. So I was like,
you got to keep in mind, it could have been actually could have also been Mordo.
Yeah, he fights him.
Oh yeah,
he fights with
Mordo
the bow staff. Remember, yeah. So he actually fights with one. So that's what it was. Real quick, we got a super chat by SpongeBob SquareBalls. Wanda could get used to the could be used. Wait a minute. Wanda could get used by or to the Sidorak. Or get used by the Sidorak. She has been spending a lot of time in the Darkhold, and he wrote it. Yeah, it's true. That could.
True.
That this is true. This is there's so many different ways.
Very true.
It is.
Yeah.
It is true. She could. But see, the thing is, I think that there's something else at play when it comes to Wanda. She has an agenda. Again, keep in mind what we heard at the end of WandaVision. I'm gonna go up and watch that last. You know what? After I get off, I'm going upstairs and watch that shit. The last episode tonight, because there's a lot of symbolism there as well. So again,
this movie is going to be huge.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts.
What is it? There's layers to this game.
Yeah,
and we've only scratched the surface tonight. We could talk for another 5 hours about like all the crazy shit that could happen in this. And believe me, this isn't the last conversation we're gonna have about this before the movie drops. But
no, definitely, definitely
like
won't.
That's why, and I'll tell you one thing. That's why the live audience. I know we're on off night. We're on Tuesday when we're usually on Monday. But
yeah, we're on Monday. Now, mind you, speaking of which, everybody, it was this off. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. I had to spend time with the lady, so I promised her. So I was slacking, so I had to spend some time with her. But I did shift it to today.
Next week. But
so Monday, it's going to be back to Monday next week. Yeah.
This show has been this stream has been steadily climbing in terms of like people in the live chat and then the views afterwards, because people like are realizing, oh my god, like all of this stuff that I love to like collect, like Hot Toys and Prime 1 statues and stuff like. There's so much more that than they realize just based on the MCU. It's like all of this stuff that the MCU is coming from, and then when you realize that it's like when you go through stretches where it's like you don't have any new movies or TV shows to go watch, you got to wait 3 months, 4 months for the next thing. The books are where you can go and you can dive into this stuff.
You
can have such a good time. And then it gets you even more hyped for the movies and the Disney Plus shows, because now you've got that knowledge and you're like, ooh, what if they do this in the next movie? What if they do this in the Disney Plus show? And it just it makes this that much more exciting when you really appreciate the source material.
It's great because, I mean, this movie, you know, if the rumors are true of these characters coming in, it deals with nostalgia factor as well. It's bringing 20 years of history in this one film. If the rumors are true, if I've been hearing ghost writers and I've been hearing, you know, I mean, basically, I think Deadpool has also been officially, you know, teased.
I mean, you can see Deadpool in this poster.
Right. So, I mean, if the rumors are true, this movie is going to be huge. I mean, look, No Way Home was a huge film. It brought 20 years of Spider-Man history, but this film will bring 20 years of Marvel in it in one. So
exactly. So No Way Home was massive in terms of Spider-Man and what he's going to be doing, his evolution moving forward, and then bringing in some additional characters like Kingpin. Kingpin wasn't in it, but like Matt Murdock, and then Kingpin brought in through Hawkeye. So it was important for that, but it was for Spider-Man. This movie is going to be far more impactful for the MCU at large and where we're going moving forward. And when people look back on this phase of the MCU, they're going to look back on WandaVision and this movie and Loki as three kind of like pillars that really set the course for the whole rest of the MCU moving forward. Because those three properties are so critical to everything that's about to happen.
Definitely. Real quick though, I'm so glad because we're going to end it right here. Again, be back here next Monday, regular scheduled time, 9:15. Great chat, everybody. So glad everybody came out in the chat as well. We'll address you guys in a minute. Let's see here. We'll start backwards. So like KG, what you got coming? Like KG, are you going to revive? Everybody out there wants to know, are you going to revive your channel? What's up, KG? Are you going to do it? Like,
yeah, man. Look, listen, I really want to, but things like school's getting in the way. So
got you.
I'm definitely gonna listen. If anything, summertime for sure. I'm gonna be back in it. That's the time I'm for sure think I'm gonna come. But you'll see me in streams like this.
Yeah.
Majority of the time you'll see me here.
Mhm.
But if you guys would love to, you guys can subscribe to the channel and also come, check my IG as well. But let me just say before you go to the next person, watching my movie Dune, I've watched it multiple times. I went to the Super Bowl and I was trying to find the Dune book because I know you guys have been recommending me to read this book, and I went to my friend's neighbor's house, and they decided to give me the book, which is the Dune book. So I can't wait to start this.
Yes.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to read it.
You have to read your knowledge. Read about yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, since we're talking about Multiverse of Madness, I've had this book for 10 years, and it's the sort of the evolution of the X-Men characters, and it's a good read if you guys can find it. It just talks.
I
about
have that book
right
over there.
It's great. I mean, I read this since I was I think I was 8 years old, and it's a great book. Really recommend it because it just talks about every single X-Men character and their abilities.
Definitely.
So really love it. But yeah, guys, I mean, I enjoy being here. Anytime I can be on.
Anytime, bro. Thank you for stopping through. Thank you for volunteering to stop through.
Right, and because you, Lael, and Brandon and Loco, you guys have this knowledge of comics, and I'm jealous. I'm like, man, I want that knowledge. So every time I listen to you guys, I'm like, I got to get into comic books again. Like, I was reading comic books since I was a kid. Yeah. So I'm like, I got to get back into it. Like, I got to read the Illuminati. It's been a long time since I read that book.
You do.
It's been a while. But yeah, man, I just love listening to the show and just keep doing the show, man, because it brings a lot of comic book collectors into this game, and it might even encourage other people to read the book. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Dylan, $2 super chat. School is never in the way, KG. You focus on that, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, you focus on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you focus on that and get that done. We'll always be here. You can jump on anywhere. Get that first. Loco Lou, what's going on with you besides Friday Night Flex? What's going on with you, brother?
Figure Flex Friday is where it's at. People.
Figure Flex Friday, you already know.
Come back to Lael's channel. You already know it's the 1/6 scale, man. Come on.
Yes. Yeah.
We're gonna come here with a flex. Hopefully, Mia doesn't outflex us again like she did
I
last
know,
week.
Right?
Because over here she flexing and be a little modest, but
yeah.
she was pulling out punches, man. She was just like,
yeah, she was flexing. She was definitely.
We gotta keep our eye on KG too.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah.
Man, KG,
hey, guess who's gonna be on the show? So John's gonna be on the show. He's coming through. Iron Logan's coming through, bro.
Nice.
He's gonna come through too.
He's coming on tomorrow, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know if he's coming on tomorrow night or not. On Uncivilized. I mean, not Uncivilized, but Say What. I don't know if he's gonna be on the night, but he's gonna be on Flex. He's definitely gonna be on there, man. So definitely. But yeah, Maya, she got a couple gems in that room, and mind you, that's just one room. That's not the other room.
Oh yes,
yeah.
That's just one room. That's not the other room. So the Marvel room, you know what I mean? The Marvel room's a totally different room. So yeah, you already know what time that is. But yeah, Figure Flex Friday, you know what time it is. You'll be there. You already know what it is. Hey, Maya, what you got coming up? What's going on with you?
For everybody, thank you so much for letting me do this. I what KG was saying is so important too, and you guys have been reiterating. It's something in between the films and the TV shows. I wish more people would read the books.
Oh, let's pull that up. Let's pull that up.
Yeah, and this is a new one going for right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Variant cover, beautiful book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've probably forgotten more than of my Marvel history than most people will ever remember, and that's sad. Yeah, I've been in the comic books for about 30 years. 30 some odd years. So, yeah, it's a little hard for me to filter back through to some of these, but I love this show, and I love learning from you guys because there was books about Illuminati I forgot. The whole history with the Illuminati, and I've got to go back and read Secret Wars. So I have a geek group that is very inclusive, a safe space for a lot of people called
Yes,
Geek Shall
yes,
Inherit
yes,
the Earth.
yes, 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 yes,
So
yes.
Geek Shall Inherit the Earth on Facebook, and I really enjoy getting to do this and represent some of the not as well versed as some of you guys. So, but allowing me to hang with you is really nice too. So.
I'm telling you, Lael and Brandon are like the Wikipedias of comic books. You tell them anything you want, and they will get it for you. They'll just tell you. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
The archives are serious in these guys.
Yeah. I mean, we do this off camera. Like I told you, I get text messages and shit at 6, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and it all begins. So yeah, I mean, but again, on all seriousness, we've been doing this. I've been doing this all my life. I started collecting comics before I even saw Star Wars in the theater, like literally. I've been collecting since I was extremely young.
I learned to reading comics.
Reading comics.
Yeah, that's how I learned how to read.
Yeah, so mine was Archie, and then we had a guy down the street from us, and he died, and his mother just sold at a garage sale, yard sale, and I got a shoe box or one of the comic boxes.
Yeah,
and it had Felix the Cat from 37, Jerry Lewis's early comics all the way through Dennis the Menace, and then his whole collecting through the Golden Age. And it was really and I draw. So it was how I learned to draw.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean, as a kid, I reading comics, I learned to draw that way. And at the age of 4 or 5, I just kept drawing and and now one of my classes, my teachers are asking me to do an illustration comic book for them. So I drew I draw a lot. It calms me down, and it's an amazing feeling.
Exactly. Sure. And when I didn't have people around or friends or whatever, I could sit and draw and go into those worlds. But I was like a Marvel, what's his name? I always mess it up, but Bryne, John Bryan. Brian. Is it John Bryan? Oh wow. But yeah, I drew a bunch of.
Oh yeah, you can hail you want, baby. Hail you want.
No, go ahead, Maya. What were you saying? What were you saying, Maya?
Oh no! So I just learned from some early '80s. There were some really great artists, McFarlane.
Oh yes.
And Jim Lee and stuff. So that's what I learned.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I want to thanks for coming through as always. Butt naked. Coolio Bandit and hashtag champ. What's going on, brother?
Man, tomorrow is I'm used to Wednesday mornings being my Disney Plus new episode morning, so I don't have that. But tomorrow is New Comic Book Day. So that is as a plus. So I'll have some reading material to go through. So that'll be fun.
Yes.
And I actually also on the comic book side of things, it was just announced today that Gary Whitta, who was a writer on my all-time favorite Star Wars property ever, Rogue One, is writing a new Batman comic, an 8-issue miniseries starting in May. It's going to be a monthly issue, so it's going to run for the rest of the year. And it's called Batman Fortress. And it's going to involve Superman and the rest of the Justice League. And it's, again, I mean, anybody who knows how big a Rogue One fan I am, and he's also a huge gamer. So big video game nerd. And actually contributes every week to Kind of Funny, Kind of Funny Games, which is another video game centric YouTube channel that is great. And so he's an awesome guy. He also created Loodle, WDLE, a lewd version of Wordle for free online, where it's all naughty words. You'd be surprised how many there are. I mean, a lot of them are British, and I don't even know what the fuck they mean. But he's an awesome dude, great writer, and so he's going to be writing a new Batman miniseries. So I'm super psyched for that.
That's great.
And that actually comes out that comes out in the same month as this movie. And as May the 4th and Star Wars Celebration, so that's gonna be a banger of a month. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we got just the usual streams coming up.
Have they said anything about our tickets though?
What's that?
Our celebration tickets. I had them for celebration.
I haven't got any information about it yet. I mean, but it should be coming soon. Like we should get information any day now. They should actually also be some resales. Because I know a lot of people that couldn't go around that time. So they should start dealing out some of those resale tickets. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. We will definitely see. But anyway, guys, thank everybody for coming through. It's been an interesting discussion. We do love it. I'm going to actually address the chat. But again, if you haven't already subscribe to the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel and Instagram, Twitter. If you want all the information, you want to get the deets. We already have it already here every day. Try to put up as much as we can. Tomorrow, tune in for Say What. We talk figure talk, what it is. That this is what we'll actually be tomorrow. Uncivilized Scoundrels on Thursday. Star Wars talk as always. And you know what's coming. Figure Flex Friday. Be here. We just flex out with figures. I mean, we just have a ball. We just have some fun. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait for that evening. And then on Sunday, again, we will be back on actually Iron Logan's channel for Take Your Position. I still don't know clearly what we're doing, but Iron Logan's going to let me know, so it'll be a surprise. I know he's watching, but he's going to tell me what we're going to be doing, so I can't wait to see that. Anyway, stay tuned for that. But before we go, again, as always, I have to continue. I can't do this, I can't do this alone. I can't do this with basically without addressing the chat. As always, got to bring my romper room picture in here real quick, because we got to make sure we actually address the chat. So we got Mark 7 is in the building. Mark, we got to get you on the show, bro, because when people hear you talk, you're a variant of so many different characters, bro. So definitely we got to get Mark 7 in his joint. Let's see who else. We got Latoya T. Baby. Thank you for coming through as always and your endless support. We got Bloodsport, Eric Grant, Tobarg. We got, let's see who else in the building. Ashley Chase. Ashley, I hope we gave you all the information that you needed. I hope you got that. We got Bob Dylan in the building. Thank you for coming through. And for the meme. He's the meme champ, as always. We got Raleigh Reviews. Raleigh, thank you for coming through. We'll see you tomorrow as well. We got Charlie the Unicorn. Let's see here. Let's see who else we got. Iron Logan, thank you for coming through. Renz Talentino. Let's see here. One pouch man. Thank you for coming through. Ray C. Let's see here. Who else do we have in the building? Said Charlie Unicorn. SpongeBob Square Bows. Bows. We got you in the building as always, man. He actually told me the story behind that name. He said he created it. I actually got a chance to meet SpongeBob Square Bows on Pose Wars. That was incredible, man. So it's nice to meet you, bro. Got to get you on this show soon. Justin McFly is in the building. We have the Russian bot. We had the Russian bot come through tonight, as always. You stupid fucks. Two Ferns in the building. Thank you for coming through. Let's see here. Who else? We got, Joe Mama 007 is in the building. We have Two Ferns is actually here. Ray C. We have the Ben Cave was in the building, as always. Luminara was in the building. Thank you for coming through. As always, Vibes is in the building. Who else we got? Man, it was quite a few. Max Geekdom, my guy, Max Geekdom in the building. Thank you for coming through. As always, your support is so appreciated. Who else we got? Cold Pizza. Every time I say that name, I get hungry as hell. Cold Pizza. Thank you for coming through. Come on, man. Cold pizza in the morning is incredible.
It's better than warm pizza.
Yeah, right. Right. We got collecting grid is in the building. Thank you for coming through as always. Let's see here. Who else do we got? Toy Box. Thank you for coming through. It's always a pleasure. The Anacostia. Thor Anacostia is in the building. Thank you for coming through. Man, who else do we have here? We got quite a few, man. A few more names. Let's get through them. Let's see here. We said Bloodsport. Gilbert Almazan is in the building. Thank you for coming through. Come on, man. My daughter, my baby, Skyla. Thank you for coming through. Teddy Bear, Philosopher. King was in the building. Thank you for coming through. Eric Gant.
For you, Leo.
My baby girl said, "I'm so pumped for this movie." I am too, baby girl. Don't worry. I'm right there with you.
Isn't it Latoya's favorite character in the MCU?
Oh, Doctor Strange of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time. She'll let you know that she has the glass. She has a shirt. She has everything. Like she's a Doctor Strange fan, diehard.
They're both learning that Doctor Strange is awesome, but that they're gonna love Daredevil more.
Oh God, you got to do this.
Yeah, I don't know. You got Bluto too. Pluto. You got
Pluto. I'm sorry.
I am Bluto. Look at me.
Yo, come on, man. Anyway, everybody, thank you for coming through. It's been an amazing night. Love you guys as always for supporting this channel and supporting the content. Graciously, we love y'all. Very, very great night, man. I had so much fun. I know Vinny wishes he could have been here in this discussion, but hey, watch some trailers and you could be a part of the gang. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, remember, stay nerdy all day. Pick up those books and read them because you already know what time it is. It's Comic Book Talk with Friends, and we will be back next week. Until then, peace.
Have a good night.